guess. Hi. Okay, is that okay? Okay? Hey, I think it's okay. It's okay. It's a little. I'm a little. Wait, let's do this. Let me adjust. Okay. All right. That's hi everyone. Hello. We're back. Back with one more video, one more stream of Hollow Knight. And today I have a second voice in my head. Say something. Second voice in my head.
Something.
There you go. Yeah. But yes, today we are here because there's one more thing I want to do before. One thing I want to do is understand the lore because I've kind of don't I get it, but not really. There's some parts of the lore I don't fully get.
All you need to know is that there is a knight and it is hollow.
Amazing, but yes,
the end.
The end. Okay. But yeah, so we're gonna check a video of Moss. I forgot what the name of the channel is, but yeah, I'll put it later in the description. I should probably have done it before the stream, but I'll do it later. But yeah, I'll put it there, and we're going to react to it because it is, I guess, the most comprehensible way to understand all the lore and get exactly what is happening there. We're gonna go to the video. It's like 1 hour, a 1 hour long video, and I'll pause it in the middle. I don't think it's like there's a point to be like watching twice. So if I don't get something, I want to say something, just pause it, say what I want to say, and then continue and all that. But yeah, I don't know how long the stream is gonna be. Well, I'm being 1 hour, but maybe a little longer depending on how much I pause and talk. So yeah, we'll be doing that. I just opened Hollow Knight first because why not? Second, my moderator, which is it's always fault. I'm just gonna point out that he's the one that recommended me to play Hollow Knight, and he's also the one that recommended me this video, and he's also the one that wanted to be here, so he's here now. Say something now.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, just wait till Silk Song is out.
Yeah.
Then we will have to watch way more.
Way more. Oh dear.
Than that.
I mean, I don't believe it. I only believe Silk Song's out when we get a date. We don't really get any date yet, so yeah. But yeah, we're gonna just watch that. I could do something else before, but let's just go and do it. I mean, just set up here things. We need to do that. Also, yeah, we're streaming this like different hour. Like usually stream way later than that, but we're streaming now because it works better for both of us. So yeah. Okay, so let me just go and set up.
Let's go.
Okay, let me just. I need to. Okay. All right. There we go. Alright, there's one thing as well. The audio can be a little bit weird to stream because usually I go headset, so. But now, like, since we're both watching it, I don't have like I'll wait for both of us here on the headset at the same time, where you watching on the speaker. So, like, hopefully, we'll do a little test early on just to see if there's any like you guys can maybe hear double audio or not. So we'll figure out at the beginning, and then later on we're going to go and like adjust things so everyone can hear the audio properly and whatnot. So let me first things first. Let me close Hollow Knight. I just put it there for background audio. Okay, so let me needs to be a good audio for you guys. Need to be a good audio for here as well. I think closed clap. I don't know if closed captions is the work in this video, but let's see. Okay, I think it picked up this one. Let me.
If you were to ask me.
Okay, so it is pick up in there. Let me see.
What is your favorite video game ever made? I would have to say Cory in the House.
Oh yeah, Cory. I think I remember seeing that. Okay, so let me adjust one thing here. Okay, there's something I can do that is going to make the audio like better, but let me see. If I go, where is it?
So, tell me again.
Yeah.
What do you think about this
where is
award-winning game that is Cory in the House for Nintendo?
10 out of 10, the best game ever. Would play again, obviously. Yeah, I think I'll do something here. I'll go and switch the configurations on the mic, so then it basically doesn't pick the like the audio. I think I can do that.
Is it confirmed then? Next time we will watch the lore of Cory
Current
in the house.
Nah, I wouldn't be able to get it. Way too complex for me. I don't know why I actually forgot. Where is the configurations of the audio here? Okay. Ah, there you go. It's here. I changed the settings, so I was like, wait.
But
where was it again?
I mean, I used to know all the lore of that one until they started to recreate the universe. Then it got beyond me.
I see. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. I think I can do that. I need to remember to like fix that later, but this should fix the problem. The only thing it's going to do is if it goes way too loud, it cuts the audio. I don't think that will happen. I was like, I freak out for some reason, but I don't think so. So I think it should be pick the audio like relatively well. But like there's a good way to fix it. Let me just go back and let me do one more test here. Let's see. Thing is, I don't want the guys to get the double audio of the speakers. So
what about?
Let's see.
The house in Cory.
The house in Cory. Okay, yeah. It picked a little bit, but it should be good. Yeah, the little compressor there, so.
If you were to ask me, what is your favorite video game ever made?
Okay, it's...
I would have to say Cory in the House for the Nintendo DS.
Yeah, speaking...
But Hollow Knight would be a close second. Hollow Knight was released on February 24th, 2017 by Team Cherry,
Okay, let's see
an indie game studio based in the mythical land of Adelaide, South Australia. Over the past 3 years, Hollow Knight has become an indie darling. The game has sold over 3.5 million
I'm gonna go back
copies.
1 second. I want to read what that
the
description
opening game
was.
at ADGQ 2019. There's a Hollow Knight book, a line of plushies, t-shirts, nicotine patches.
Okay, yeah, it's speaking a little bit.
I might actually get that book.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to lower a little bit more for us there. Just 1 second. Then. You press play. Go to 0. Press play again. 1 second. Just looking like. Just be here.
If you were to ask me, what is your favorite video game ever made? I would have to say Cory in the House for the Nintendo DS. But Hollow Knight would be a close second. Hollow Knight was released on February 24th, 2017 by Team Cherry, an indie game studio based in the mythical land of Adelaide, South Australia. Over the past 3 years, Hollow Knight has become an indie darling. The game has sold over 3.5 million copies. It was the opening game at ADGQ 2019. There's a Hollow Knight book, a line of plushies, t-shirts, nicotine patches, nuclear warheads, and even vinyl records for all you goddamn hipsters. Team Cherry.
Okay, so. Yeah, let me see here. Okay, I think it should be good enough. Yeah. And I think for you guys, you can probably like hear like all good. So just does a little quiet, but it's not quiet enough, but we cannot hear it. So yeah. Okay, so let's just go and start it properly. I'll also go read what it said later. Oh, hello, Val. It's a little older stream. How are you doing? How are you today?
Hello there.
I'll say this is my moderator. Like we're watching the most complete lore of Hollow Knight today because I want to understand what happened here, just to get a good feeling for it. I'm finally tired. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you can take a good rest today or maybe later. Let me see here. Okay, warning: this video contains a few spoilers. Thankfully, we play everything. Okay, please bear that in mind before embarking on this journey, or don't. I really don't care. I'm just text on screen. Okay. What about you? I'm doing okay today. It's been good. I've been a few tired like a few days ago, but it's all good today. So yeah. Okay. Thanks for explaining, Game Terry. You are indeed a text on screen and or video, I guess, and I won't take you too seriously.
If you were to ask me, what is your favorite video game ever made? I would have to say Cory in the House for the Nintendo DS.
Oh boy.
But Hollow Knight would be a close second.
Yeah, thankfully, right?
Hollow
Thankfully.
Knight was released on February 24th, 2017 by Team Cherry, an indie game studio based in the mythical land of Adelaide, South Australia. Over the past 3 years, Hollow Knight has become an indie darling. The game has sold over 3.5 million copies. It was the opening game at ADGQ 2019. There's a Hollow Knight book, a line of plushies, t-shirts, nicotine patches, nuclear warheads, and even vinyl records for all you goddamn hipsters. Team Cherry had one goal when making Hollow Knight. They wanted to create a world that allowed players to get completely lost in exploration.
Shout out to the map, like
we
the
can
best.
see this desire in Hollow Knight's design.
The best thing in this whole game.
The levels in Hollow Knight are massive, with secrets and rewards hidden in every nook and cranny. Be that powerful charms, special abilities, or the game's navigation system requires the player to work for their map, forcing them to make a stronger mental image of the world in their head. Christopher Larkin's score and Ari Gibson's artwork lend to this as well, creating an atmosphere that the player won't want to leave. But there's one aspect of Hollow Knight that keeps people like me coming back: the world building.
Okay, yeah.
When Super Metroid launched
I was like,
in
what is
1994, it stood out for its
I need to
amazing
play this
sense
someday, by the way.
of immersion.
Never played any Metroid.
Now, in
or
1994,
Castlevania,
I was busy not being alive, but I've watched enough YouTube video essays to know that this game was a big deal. In case you didn't know, Super Metroid is basically the granddaddy of all Metroidvanias. That's why they're called Metroidvanias.
Yeah, Metroidvanias.
Now, in Super Metroid, there are moments that give the player a sense of depth. Basically, the feeling that this world exists outside of Samus's interactions with it. In the room right before that diabetic crocodile thing, Samus can find the corpse of a random soldier. His inclusion here doesn't change the gameplay at all, but instead gives the player a sense of wonder about the world they are exploring.
Yeah, more to the
Who was this guy? Why was he here in the first place? Did he like jazz?
Okay.
Now, finding dead bodies and other random garbage is pretty cool, right? Well, Hollow Knight basically does the same thing.
Oh my god, no! I was like, wait, what?
times.
Oh my god, it's the
Through
dude!
its world building, Hollow Knight turns Hallownest into a living kingdom.
Yeah,
I
didn't kill him there,
the
but
ancient
like,
history of the land when you look at dilapidated structures or giant
that's so
barred
messed up. Like
doors.
his body's just there.
Nothing feels like it was put into the game randomly. There's a reason for it all. Except those reasons aren't the easiest to uncover. Hollow Knight.
Actually, wait. Actually, I don't know if I've ever found this room here with this image. Where was it? Not.
There's a reason
like
for
this
it
one
all.
here.
Except those reasons.
Yeah, I think I never found this room.
Is
Let's. I don't remember.
in that mining area?
Maybe, but I actually don't remember if I ever found it.
Reasons aren't the easiest
If I
to
did it,
uncover.
like,
Hollow Knight's
well.
narrative is buried under layers of NPC
Don't worry,
dialogue,
you're-
item descriptions, lore tablets, and even additional content like the Quarrel comic and Fangamer's Wanderer's Journal. These past 3 years have seen an insane amount of research by the Hollow Knight
Shame.
community to make sense of Team Cherry's sprawling world. We've even made it to the point where people are looking at the in-game signs to try and decipher Hallownest's logographic language. In this video, I hope to give you a long and
That was
detailed
wild.
look into the world of Hollow Knight, exploring Hallownest's history and uncertain future. When I'm not busy making surprisingly accurate Super Smash Bros. Roster speculation videos, or insightful podcasts about beloved subjects like the Donkey Kong
dear.
Country television series,
Thank you.
or whatever this was supposed to be, I'm usually making videos about Hollow Knight. And while I am a seasoned Hollow Knight lore expert,
I'll say I appreciate that, by the way.
cannot confirm that every musing or theory presented in this video is completely correct. I highly recommend checking out the lore section of the Hollow Knight wiki if you want a more neutral explanation of Hollow Knight's lore. But if you're too lazy to read, then I suggest you
Yes,
sit
I am.
back,
Unfortunately,
order some Domino's
I'm
pizza,
too lazy.
or just grab a block of cheese
Reading
from
is
the
hard,
fridge
okay?
and enjoy the mostly complete lore of Hollow Knight.
Where's the cheese?
He's in the fridge.
It's a simple fact of life
Dude.
that every human worships a god,
You know, it's
be
way
that
too far.
technology, ideologies, or in rare cases, God. As it turns out,
God.
the bugs in Hallownest pretty much operate in the same way. From the Mosskin born from the dream of a giant slug, to the emo kids of the ancient civilization who literally worship the darkness, there is no shortage of things to worship in the world of Hollow Knight. Our
Okay.
story begins with a creature very much worthy of worship. A creature born from the carcass of a worm. The carcass can still be found in the Kingdom's Edge, and it's our only good look at what worms actually looked like. At the time Hollow Knight occurs, it is suggested there are no worms left in the world. They were incredibly long creatures that featured little to no limbs.
Okay.
Another more mysterious property of worms was that they had some kind of prescience or foresight. Basically, they could see the future to some capacity. It isn't clear how effective this ability was. Considering how the entire race went extinct, this foresight ability must have been pretty shit. Getting back to this particular worm carcass, it is explained that this worm traveled across the distant mountains and wastelands beyond Hallownest. Once it arrived in Hallownest, the worm died. Except not really. Inside the maw of the carcass sits a pale broken egg, out of which hatched a new form of worm, a being of meager shell. This form of the worm is usually referred to as the Pale King, and he's the character basically responsible for everything that happens in Hollow Knight.
It's all his fault.
The Pale King is a higher being, a type of creature that exists above all others. His body was said to shine with a radiant visage that harmed those who looked upon him. The ultimate goal of the Pale King seemed to be in line with that of other worms. A line from the cryptic Mr. Mushroom reads, "Worms pull bugs into their thrall, till ages pass and kingdoms fall." In other words, it's just in their nature. Dogs wag their tails, cats bury their shit, and worms bring massive amounts of bugs into their service in order to form long-standing kingdoms and civilizations.
Yeah, simple stuff, simple stuff.
And here in a far corner of the world, the Pale King emerged from the corpse of his former self and began to build his eternal kingdom, Hallownest. There's this one slight problem. There's like people already living there.
That never stopped anyone into, just building stuff there anyway.
The area that would eventually become
I'll say this map is crazy. Look at this. It looks so cool. It's like this redrawing of the whole place.
Hallownest was already filled with mantises, bees, moths, spiders, mushrooms, and bush cosplayers. Each of these groups were already operating with their own cultures and societies, and each group had a different interaction with the Pale King. One of the more receptive groups to the arrival of the Pale King were the mushrooms of the fungal wastes. These creatures were able to communicate with one another through one shared mind. The mushrooms viewed this shared mind as a strength, and they were kind of smug dickheads about it. Ultimately, the mushrooms wearily accepted the Pale King's rule, viewing his foresight as a shield to the dangers of the future. Another group living in the fungal wastes is the Mantis tribe. The Mantises have a rich cultural history reaching back to long before the birth of Hallownest. The Mantises are a proud tribe, believing in the importance of proving one's physical strength. The Mantises are fiercely territorial, but will show respect to those who display great power. These Fight Club enthusiasts were led by 4 powerful Mantis Lords, who I guess just kind of sat around waiting for outsiders to chat.
Just pretend there's another Mantis here, thanks. You know what? Yeah, I'll do. I'll say there's the 4th one. Surely, right? Surely.
Challenge them. The Mantis tribe had
Wait, that's right. Actually, I actually never noticed it yet. There's supposed to be a 4th, like throne there. I just look at the image like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think there is a.
It is destroyed.
Yeah, destroyed. Yeah, I guess I never noticed
The
it.
connection.
Yeah. Plus, I think I don't know if it shows on the Pantheon. So yeah.
And they explain this really later into the game. Yeah.
Lords, who I guess just kind of sat around waiting.
Yeah, I can see there a little bit on the because I'm blocking it, but yeah, there's supposed to be like a 4th throne there.
For outsiders to challenge them.
That's pretty symmetrical, so I don't know. Yeah, maybe the other one's supposed to be similar to the one in the middle, but oh well.
The Mantis tribe had no interest in the Pale King's kingdom, but the 2 communities did come to a truce. In exchange for their independence from Hallownest, the Mantis tribe kept the beasts of Deepnest from invading Hallownest. Not sure why they didn't just go out the tribe kept the beasts of Deepnest from invading Hallownest.
Okay.
Not sure why they didn't just go out the other exits from Deepnest, but whatever. I'm not an expert on border patrol. I don't work at ICE anymore. Let's move on to Deepnest. Now, many of the different tribes of Hallownest were kind enough to leave lore tablets behind, detailing pretty much everything we need to know about them.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the bugs of Deepnest didn't do that. We know that the spiders of Deepnest had a monarchy because why not? Those are always good, right?
Wait. Insert topical reference to latest scandal involving the royal family here. Okay.
Spiders of Deep Nest had a monarchy because why not? Those are always good, right? Also, within Deep Nest are a separate group of spiders that immigrated to Deep Nest at some point in the past. This group was known as the Weavers, and they established their own culture and history within Deep Nest.
Also, yeah, a little side tangent. I actually like the Reaver, charm. I know some people say it's just bad. I kind of like it. Hi, Akari. Hello, on the stream.
Hello.
I'm here, and this is the other voice in my head.
Sure.
Yeah, this is Terwin, my mod. He wanted me to watch this video with me, so he's here with me, and we're watching together. I don't know. At least I know now is a little earlier than usual for you, so yeah. Hope you're doing good there.
Behold my newfound power.
They
Or I don't know, maybe I'm just really good at like mimicking voices. One of the two. Yeah, I remember.
used looms of silk to weave stories, spells, and shields. One thing we know for sure about Deep Nest is that they really didn't want anything to do with Hallownest. The struggles of Deep Nest Hallownest relations would become painfully clear as time goes on,
Okay.
but for right now, it seems like the two remained
we're checking
fairly
into
isolated from
lore.
one another.
Don't like the lore.
Another section of pre-Hallownest includes Green Path. Now, as far as we can tell, the mushrooms, mantises, and spiders of Deep Nest didn't worship any higher beings. There is this giant mushroom corpse in the fungal core, but I don't think this is a higher being. I mean, who the hell would want to worship a fat-ass mushroom? Fat-ass slugs? Now that's dope. The land we know as Green Path was created by the higher being known as Un. Un used her great mind to dream the vegetation of Green Path into the once barren caverns. Un's followers, the Mosskin, were also born out of Un's dream, making her their creator. Green Path at its height was actually much larger than we see in game.
Okay.
At one point, Green Path stretched into both modern-day Queen's Garden and possibly Fog Canyon. Green Path's citizens showed themselves to be a fairly developed society. They built a temple at the Lake of Un in order to worship her, and they even had their own line of defense, with Moss Knights showing proficiency in combat, using nails and shells as weapons.
Okay.
The Law of Un continued to remain in effect even after the Pale King arrived, but it seems like they allowed the king to establish a road through their lands, leading travelers to the heart of Hallownest. Hence the name Green Path. Yeah, Team Cherry really racked their brains when naming this area, didn't they?
I mean, hey, if it works, you know. What can I say?
Next, we have the bees. And while there is no lore on how these bees can turn into fucking drills, or how they can ignore all known laws of aviation, we do know how they reacted to the Pale King. These bugs decided to seal their hive off from the rest of the world, with only patrol bees being able to enter and exit the hive. So yeah, the bees are pretty much pointless in this story.
Damn.
And finally we have the moths.
That's kind of unfortunate. What about the bees? Yeah, they just don't do anything. Just kind of there. Anyway, just moves on.
In-game, the only moth settlement is in the resting grounds, but the tribe might have also inhabited the Crystal Peak at one point. Now, as we all know, moths in real life are just complete assholes.
I'll see it.
As for the moths in Hollow
Anyway, thanks for showing me a real moth. I needed to see how that looked. Thanks, guy.
Knight, well,
Never saw one.
it's a bit complicated. The moth race is described as being a rather pacifist group, with few ever choosing to take up a weapon. During the Pale King's reign, the moth race delved amongst dreams and the dead, displaying the importance of remembering those who have passed, as well as learning how to shape dreams themselves. Similar to the Mosskin, the moth tribe was born from a higher being known as the Radiants.
The Radiant, huh? I'm totally not getting pissed off already about that.
Things are starting to get shiny.
Oh dear.
The Radiance is described as being a light in which the moth tribe basked, so she was basically a giant lamp to them. Another important aspect about the Radiance is her ties to dreams and a substance known as essence.
Okay.
Essence are the remains of wishes and dreams, and are represented in-game by these dreamcatcher particle effects.
Alright.
Essence can take the form of whispering roots, as well as dream ghosts, both of which are memories taking root in the world. The Radiance appears to be a creature made of essence, but she isn't the only higher being to give off essence. Un has green particles, the Pale King has gray particles, and this sexy character named Grim gives off fiery red particles. However, the Radiance appears to be the main god when it comes to dreams, even if other gods also dabble in the dream realm. Getting back to the Moth tribe, it is their interaction with the Pale King that we need to discuss.
Okay.
Basically, the Moths turn their backs on the Radiance completely, in order to worship the new light that had appeared, the Pale King's light.
It all happened because they kind of like ignore him and then they got pissed about it.
So yeah, moths are assholes in this game too.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Tim Offs just keep it. Oh my god, don't say that to me.
With her tribe forsaking her, the Radiance became a forgotten memory, a remnant of the past, and a thing that's definitely not going to come up again later in this.
Yeah, surely their god is not going to come back to do something later, right? Surely.
Video. And so
Thanks for telling me that.
the Pale King's new kingdom was established, Hallownest.
And then everything prospered forever. The end, chat. We did it. There you go. It was a little short, but we did watch the video. We can just go home now.
But there is one aspect of Hallownest that we need to discuss. Unfortunately, to better understand this, we're going to have to read some poetry.
Oh no.
In Wilds Beyond, they speak your name with reverence and regret.
Not reading.
For none could tame our savage souls, yet you the challenge met. Under palest watch, you taught, we changed. Base instincts were redeemed. A world you gave to bug and beast as they had never dreamed. This is from a poem titled Elegy for Hallownest, written by Motomon the Teacher. The poem appears at the beginning of every playthrough, and hints at what the Pale King and his kingdom offered. Much of the land outside of Hallownest appears to be a wasteland, where bugs survive off of instinct, without the burden of mind. Hallownest somehow taught these bugs and tamed their savagery. Basically, the Pale King changed the instincts of his subjects and granted them higher thought.
Alright.
To get a better picture of this, let's look at two different characters, Boone and Tuck. These adorable panda bug things give us a clear display of Hallownest's effect.
Let me see. Daughter brings me everything I wish for. I just need to find it.
While both appear to be the same species of bug, Boone is dumb as a sack of rocks, struggling to string together words, while Tuck speaks fairly clearly. The main difference between these two characters is that while Boone lives outside of Hallownest, Tuck lives beneath the city's capital. Basically, it appears as though Hallownest is a literal holy ground that raises the intelligence of those who dwell within. The Pale King established a path, starting from the kingdom's entrance in King's Pass, winding through Greenpath and the fungal wastes, and finally ending at the massive capital at Hallownest's heart. We now know the capital city as the City of Tears, but that was likely not its original name. The rain that falls down onto the city from the blue lake above didn't begin until after the kingdom collapsed. So unless the capital was originally named by some edgy literature student, the name City of Tears wouldn't have made much sense. The king's motivation for all this appears to have been his desire to be worshipped. The citizens of Hallownest believe that the Pale King created the world, and everything in it. Shrines to the king can be found scattered throughout the kingdom, and king's idols were created and distributed to followers of the king. Despite the worship, the Pale King often kept himself hidden from his subjects, possibly to hide his blemishes. I mean, if you look at the size of the real Pale King to his statue in the ancient basin, the man is clearly overcompensating. The Pale King's White Palace was also built underneath the city, separating him from his subjects even more so. At the same time, certain powers became shunned in Hallownest, though we don't know for sure if the Pale King had anything to do with this. Lifeblood is a blue liquidy substance that leaves those who drink it feeling refreshed. However, the use of lifeblood was seen as a taboo, and those who used it were demonized as heretics. The use of soul for combat was also shunned. Soul is a sort of life force in Hollow Knight that animates the bodies of living creatures. But some characters are life force in Hollow The use of soul for combat was also shunned. Soul is a sort of life force in Hollow Knight that animates the bodies of living creatures. But some characters are able to control the soul of others to conjure powerful spirits. But aside from a few exceptions, no citizens of Hallownest ever used this power. However, the Pale King didn't rule alone. There was another higher being in the mix, a being known as the White Lady. The White Lady is a weird brute-like being that can be found in the modern-day Queen's Gardens. She is encased in a strange cocoon, and we know very little about her. With as much exposition we get for the Pale King, there is next to nothing on the White Lady. But one thing we do know is that she likes to breed. Like, a lot. The White Lady would often retreat to the Queen's Gardens, an area of land once controlled by the Mosskin. How exactly she walked around and actually went places is a lore question too deep for even my expertise. The White Lady is also known as a pale being, along with the Pale King. What exactly are pale beings? Well, we don't know for sure, but they seem to stand out even amongst higher beings, as being even more powerful. I know that's a little confusing, so let's try using an example.
Alright.
I'd say that regular higher beings are like a TP-Link
Oh,
Archer C7 AC1750 wireless
thanks.
dual-band gigabit router, while pale beings are like the Asus RT-AX88U
Oh, okay, okay, got it. Yeah, it looks more futuristic, so it's better. I see.
AX6000 dual-band 8x gigabit Wi-Fi router. Under the Pale King, Halnest underwent a bit of an industrial revolution. He ordered the construction of the stagways, which were used to transport passengers and goods. The Forgotten Crossroads and the storerooms above the City of Tears were used to store goods that traveled along these stagways. The king also ordered the construction of the tramways, because literally no one is safe from the threat of automation. A tram was built between the Forgotten Crossroads and the Resting Grounds. A second tram was built from the kingdom's edge across the ancient basin over to Deep Nest. And then a third tram was started in Deep Nest and attempted to go further into Deep Nest. Not sure how useful that would have been to the bugs of Hallownest, but whatever. The Pale King's a smart guy. I'm not gonna question it.
Show here being dead. I mean, it was smart until it wasn't, and he just died, and probably almost maybe kill everyone there.
But anyway, the Pale King's super smart plan to build a tram in Deep Nest ended up getting a few of his tram workers killed. The bugs of Deep Nest rejected the Pale King's attempt to build a tram in their territory, further cementing the poor relations shared between the two groups. Aside from convenient fast travel, regular pathways were also used to cart goods around the kingdom. From this was born probably one of the most important groups in Hallownest, and perhaps even all of fiction. An elusive guild of bugs, simply known as the Menderbugs, took to maintaining the various signs scattered throughout Hallownest. From the journal entry of one Menderbug, we can catch a glimpse into their ancient and unknowable minds.
Dear, dear diary. Isn't life just the most beautiful thing? Fixing signs, mending posts, let them break, I say. I'm a better mender for all that repairing. I sometimes doubt there's a single bug in all of Hallownest happier than me.
Another example of the Pale King's expanding infrastructure is the Crystal Peak. This area is filled with crystals that grow rapidly along walls, ceilings, and even the shells of certain bugs. These crystals were considered valuable to the bugs of Hallownest, resulting in large-scale mining efforts. We don't actually see the crystals used anywhere else in Hallownest, but they are said to contain a sort of energy. The crystals are also said to sing, if you listen very carefully.
Okay, why don't you listen? Because,
In terms of military, Hallownest's first line of defense
why don't you listen? Because, the way things set up, but yeah, sure, I believe you.
appeared to be a group simply known as the Five Great Knights. The members of this esteemed coalition were Ogrim, Hegemol, Zamir, Drya, and Isma. For being so important, most of the information about these knights has been lost to time. Ogrim is the knight we know the most about, since he is one of the few knights still alive during the events of the game. Ogrim expressed a great amount of loyalty towards the king, and he maybe had something going on with Isma, but we really don't know. Hegemol was known for his sense of humor and his soft-spoken voice, but at the same time, he was also dummy thick. Mysterious Samir arrived in Hallownest from a serene land, bringing with her a collection of delicate flowers. At some point, she also got into a relationship with a mantis, but not just any mantis, a daughter of one of the mantis lords. So yeah, it seems like these great knights were slaying in more ways than one. All we really know about Drya is that she was fierce, caring, and wise. As for Isma, she was described as being kind. She also appears to be some sort of weird plant life form, but there's no information on where she's from or what her powers were. The Five Great Knights play an important role in the Champion's Call, the Knotted Grove, and the Battle of the Black Worm. We have no idea what these events were or how they affected Hallownest, but they sound cool nonetheless. During Hallownest's reign, there was another strange area that seemed to exist separate from the Pale King's rule. Carved out of the corpse of an ancient bug, an area called the Colosseum of Fools was constructed, and it was a destination for warriors from outside Hallownest. The sole purpose for fighting in the Colosseum appeared to be simply for glory, with a mysterious figure known as the Lord Fool overseeing the combat. We don't know when the Colosseum was constructed or if the Pale King was involved, but one of his servants, the Pale Lurker, became a champion in the Colosseum, perhaps indicating the Pale King's approval. And finally, there was the Royal Waterways, where the fecal excrement of the kingdom was washed out into the fungal wastes. This area saw the rise of a species of parasite-like creatures called the flukes.
Yeah, the flukes.
The flukes spawned from the fluke marm, a giant monster with cavities in which tinier flukes live. There really isn't too much lore involved with the flukes, but I do need to point out that the fluke marm is canonically a MILF. Like, that's not even debatable.
Yeah,
The sky is blue, 2 + 2 = 4, and we all want to fuck this thing. And so this was the kingdom of Hallownest at its height. Hallownest was a vast kingdom connected by a network of stagways and tram stations. The bugs of Hallownest mourned their dead on the resting grounds, engaged in commerce using Geo, the de facto currency of the region, and a thriving capital located in the middle of the kingdom.
Yeah, what could go wrong, right? What would possibly go wrong into this, amazing society?
The Pale King had succeeded in crafting a full-blown society, but we all know there are pitfalls to living in a society. As a suspiciously knowledgeable hunter points out in his journal, the Pale King had created a population of weak and pathetic.
Also, by the way, I haven't done it, the hunter thing, but I actually did see it. I was curious. So I did see it, so I was like, oh, okay. It just gives you that, like, there's a little cutscene if you got, like, all this stuff going on. It was kind of nice.
Pathetic creatures. The bugs of Hallownest did not hunt for their own food, and had become complacent with their comfort. This is even more obvious with the east wing of the capital. These greedy members of Hallownest's high society became complete cowards, obsessed with riches and plum from excess wealth. The bugs living in Hallownest Prime looked quite different than the instinctive simpletons they once were. Their savagery had been replaced with intelligence, and through that intellect, they gave the Pale King the devotion and service he desired. And while there were a few snags along the way, they were shining times for the king and his subjects. Resting at the threshold of Hallownest is a strange lore tablet, proclaiming Hallownest to be the last and only civilization. It calls Hallownest an eternal kingdom. This appears to have been the Pale King's goal, for Hallownest to stand against a wasted world as a final beacon for civilization. And that was the Pale King's ultimate folly, to think that he could succeed where so many others had failed before.
Also, we are going to watch the Silk Song trailer later, like the only one we got, I think. Because I watched a few bits of it, but I never watched fully, so might as well take a look at there.
Before the Pale Kings, or the Barry Bensons of the world, the land of Hallownest was controlled by an ancient caste. Hints of Hallownest history are littered throughout the land, with the most notable examples being the soul totems and arcane eggs. One sect of these ancient bugs didn't worship a god like the Pale King, or any lord, but instead a dark and mysterious substance known as the Void. This ancient caste once also tried to lay claim to the entire land of Hallownest, but they too failed. In his quest to conquer all of Hallownest, the Pale King had made an enemy long forgotten, an enemy that was about to be remembered.
Yeah, I wonder who that was.
I mentioned earlier that the Moth tribe entirely forgot about the Radiants in order to worship the Pale King,
That is why.
but that isn't quite true. Memories of her still lingered, and hushed whispers of faith kept the Radiants alive. At the summit of the Crystal Peak, a location known as Hallownest Crown, a strange collection of glyphs can be found. Joining these glyphs is a statue of the Radiants, presiding over the kingdom below. This old summit is the
That's funny. Actually, when I first came here, it didn't connect the dots. I thought it was supposed to be the Radiants.
sole standing shrine left to the Radiants. This was built in order to keep the memory of the Radiants alive. The Radiants' light began to appear in the dreams of Hallownest citizens. This light manifested itself in an infection that ravaged through the kingdom's tunnels. Those infected would fall into a deep sleep and awaken with broken minds. Some of the lesser bugs tried to resist the Radiance's light, which only resulted in them being consumed by it even more so. Many infected bugs lost their wills and began attacking bugs that weren't infected. The infection also twisted.
Oh my god. Was it Bug Life?
Yeah.
I caused okay. I caused everyone to
the
die.
bodies of its hosts,
Are you talking about one of your videos or is it something else?
causing them to bloat and occasionally develop orange cysts on their bodies. For many victims, they were reverted back to their basic instincts, carrying out the duties they once fulfilled in life, but now as mindless slaves. Those caught up in the infection were linked into the Radiance's hive mind, allowing her to control their bodies if needed.
Because I am Radiant.
As the infection spread across Hallownest,
There's no
many
absolute
groups
Radiance. That
looked
thing
to solutions
sucks.
to fight off the Radiance's light. The gates to the City of Tears were closed in an attempt to keep the infection from reaching the city. The
Also, one
stagways
second,
were
let me check something here. Wait. Okay, continue here.
also shut down at some point, and many of the stags eventually died out, but some took more proactive efforts against the infection. The scholars of the Soul Sanctum decided to harness the power of Soul in an attempt to fight the infection.
Okay.
This resulted in the deaths of hundreds of bugs,
Oh,
whose
it's great.
souls were sucked
Great, huh? Great.
out and injected into the bodies of the scholars. Their goal was to achieve some kind of pure focus, which would somehow protect them from plagues of the mind. The scholars' leader, the Soul Master, was driven mad by the sheer power of Soul, and his entire sect failed to avoid infection. But hey, at least they took as many innocent people down with them as they could. The
Oh my
Mantis
God.
tribe, showing a stronger will than the common bug, were able to stave off the infection. However, one of the 4 Mantis Lords turned against his sisters. He and his followers took in the infection willingly, as it gave them more strength and courage. At some point during all this, the Traitor Lord and his followers were exiled from the Mantis village, eventually taking up residence in the Queen's Gardens.
Yeah.
The Traitor Lord's daughter ended up dying at some point. This is the same Mantis that was in a relationship with Zemir, one of the 5
okay.
Great Knights. But the Mantises rejected their union because of Zemir's outsideness. As a gamer, this type of
This image, though. This image. Hello, Eggman. Hello. What a stream. Welcome. Why just some more hollowknight lore here? So I can, like, kind of get exactly, like, you know, get a better understanding what exactly happened there in the game.
prejudice is all too familiar, and honestly, it makes me sick. With the 5
Hashtag
Great Knights
Game Prize up.
completely useless to fight against the infection, the Pale King devised his own scheme. A scheme involving a strange substance known as Void.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, the Pale King's White Palace was built in an area called the Ancient Basin. But his castle wasn't the only noteworthy thing down there. At the bottom of the Ancient Basin was the entrance to a pit, known as the Abyss. Within the Abyss was a lake composed of void. The Pale King realized that this void could be given form, as evidenced by an imprint of such, deep within the Abyss, possibly left there by the ancient civilization that predated Hallownest. The Pale King devised a workshop in his palace, where he placed void in armor shells imbued with soul, creating servants known as King's Molds and Wing Molds.
Oh, yes. It is that
These
one,
void
yes.
creatures
It is
were
that one,
somehow imprinted with the desire of the Pale King, so that they would serve him. It isn't clear when the Pale King started making these creatures. There is evidence to imply that even common bugs were aware of King's Molds.
Okay.
But the point is, the Pale King turned to the void in order to create another creature, one that he believed could contain the Radiance and her infection. He tried
Yeah, I wonder who was create a pure vessel.
to create a pure vessel. The Radiance's infection needs its host to have a will and a mind in order to enslave it. A pure vessel would be a creature made of void designed to lack those features. The Pale King believed that by harnessing the void inside a pure vessel, he would be able to stop the infection and keep Hallownest lasting eternal. But his method for creating this so-called pure vessel was incredibly cruel. This is where the White Lady and her King Kong-sized libido come into play. These 2 higher beings engaged in a union of some kind, resulting in the creation of several eggs that were dropped down into the abyss. There, the void seeped into these eggs, corrupting the offspring of the Pale King and the White Lady. This act resulted in the creation of the vessel.
Oh, yeah, it was this cutscene that we saw, I think, during one of the Pantheons. I forgot which one. Maybe it was the 4th one or the 3rd one after you finish it, I think.
The vessels are not technically considered to be alive. They are shells created from the Pale King and White Lady that have been filled with the void.
Ah. I wonder if that's why, if that's the reason why Hornet calls Ghost when we first met, like, "Get away, Ghost! I know what you're doing," or something. Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
Within each vessel is a shade, a completely void being hidden behind the face of the vessel. Vessels are also non-gendered, I guess because they're dead or something. I'm not
They're
sure if
dead or
that's
something.
how that works, but whatever. I'm not an expert on these kinds of things. I don't work at ICE anymore. Thousands of vessels were created during this process, but only one was chosen as the pure vessel. This particular vessel, chosen by the Pale King, was deemed the Hollow Knight, and was
Oh
taken
my god, we
away
did it. Check that's the name of the game. Oh my god. The Hollow Knight.
Game time.
The Wonky Knight.
to the White Palace. But I want to take a bit of a closer look at this part of the story. There are a number of questions and theories surrounding this moment that I really want to dig into. The big question surrounding this moment is, why was the Hollow Knight chosen over any other vessel? One common theory is that the Pale King took
Also, seriously, I don't know if they always explain it, but I kept joking when I came here. And I was like, why? What the frick does the White Palace have so many, like, saws? Like, so many of these things. We're trying to, like, hunt, like, protect themselves against the infection or something? Like, why are there so many of them
these
everywhere?
vessels back to the White Palace and evaluated them using his giant collection of buzzsaws. This theory is probably the least likely explanation. It kinda exists just to explain the buzzsaws, which is quite the mystery, I'll admit.
Look at this. Look at this BS that I'm looking at. Like for a video game, like, yeah, okay, just a stage, but like, if you think, oh, this was a kingdom, like, why? Like,
I mean, everyone has their hobbies, right?
yeah, sure.
The guy just liked to cut everything.
Yeah, let me go back a little bit more before I continue here.
Took these vessels back
Wait, just a bit more. I want to...
over any other
Oh, there you go.
vessel. One common theory is that the Pale King took these vessels back to the White Palace and evaluated them using his giant collection of buzzsaws.
Okay.
This
yeah,
theory is probably the least likely explanation. It kinda exists just to explain the buzzsaws, which is quite the mystery, I'll admit,
Yeah.
but doesn't really mesh with the vessels very well. How does being good at Super Meat Boy prove that you are a worthy
Super
vessel?
Meat Boy.
And while thinking about logistics in
Whoosh. You have big brain now.
a game about magic bugs is never a good idea, how exactly did the Pale King transfer these thousands of vessels to his palace without characters like the Dung Defender finding out? So this means that the Pale King probably made his decision without taking any of the vessels out of the Abyss.
Yeah, because it's always a good idea, right? Just decide things for yourself and never ask anyone any questions.
So how did the Pale King make his evaluation? I think the best explanation comes from a theory I originally heard from a user named Golden Flower Fan. Basically, the vessels were hatched down at the bottom of the Abyss, and the first one to make it to the top was chosen by the Pale King.
Simple as
In a
that,
memory
huh?
of this event, we see vessels falling from above back down into the pit of the Abyss. Perhaps these vessels weren't being cast down into the Abyss, but fell while trying to escape out of it. The lore tablet outside the Abyss appears to support this theory. It reads, "Our pure vessel has ascended. Beyond lies only the refuse and regret of its creation. We shall enter that place no longer." This tablet was likely written right after the Hollow Knight was chosen, considering that is when the entrance to the Abyss was
I
sealed
wonder
off.
if there's an explanation what there's that room in there, like with all the, you know, I forgot what the name of the room was. They want to need like 15 like blue hearts to be able to like get it.
King's Seal, something like
I
that.
forgot what the name was, but yeah, you know, there will need like all the blue hearts to get it, and you can like get something at the end. I wonder if there's a reason why
The
it's there or
tablet
not.
proclaims that the pure vessel has ascended, or in other words, climbed out of the Abyss.
Ascended.
And while cut content should never be considered canon, I would just like to point out that an earlier version of this tablet, found in the game's code, was even more explicit about this. It read, "From below, our pure vessel has ascended." But how does making it to the top of the Abyss first prove that the Hollow Knight is somehow a perfectly hollow vessel?
That's a good point, yeah.
Well, I think this whole concept might just be a misconception.
Oh, so you made,
What
made
if
a
the
mistake.
Hollow Knight wasn't any different from the other vessels? All the vessels were made in the exact same way after all. The idea that the Hollow Knight was somehow more hollow than the other vessels comes from the fact that there were so many vessels created in the first place. If they only needed one, then why create so goddamn many? I mean, this is like Octomom on steroids. Well, these are bugs we're talking about, so it would make sense that multiple offspring would come from one egg. And it might have been a precaution to produce multiple vessels in hopes that at least one would be able to successfully escape the abyss. Now another explanation could be that the Pale King just yeeted other vessels that made it to the top first, after determining that they weren't hollow, which would better explain why so many were created. Ultimately, the exact details aren't super important, but I do find it interesting how many different interpretations can be pulled from this part of the lore.
Yeah.
After the Hollow Knight was chosen, the Pale King sealed the doorway to the abyss, leaving the discarded vessels to rot away in darkness. These actions were not taken lightly by the Pale King or the White Lady. Both participants expressed shame in what they did, but saw no other option to save the kingdom. But the vessels weren't the only poor saps sealed away in the abyss. There's also a lighthouse that was built on top of a naturally formed spire. Its light shining down on an ocean of abyss below. Inside was one of the Pale King's royal retainers, who was left in charge of keeping the lighthouse turned on. So this brave soul was willingly sealed in a dark and dangerous tomb for the rest of his life, just so he could not pull a lever. Well, at least he was living with purpose. With the abyss sealed and the Hollow Knight chosen, the Pale King's plan was beginning to come together. The Hollow Knight was raised and trained to prime form, causing it to grow several times its original size. We don't know exactly why this happened, but I guess the Hollow Knight is just a grower and not a shower. We know that the Hollow Knight was trained to use a nail, but why was this even necessary? One possible explanation is that the Hollow Knight needed to protect itself in case an intruder tried to kill it. You know, like the player. Or perhaps this was important in the process of containing the Radiance. Unfortunately, the details of that are never
I don't know,
fully...
maybe it was supposed to do what we did at the true ending of the game, like supposed to fight it. But maybe that's why I learned not to fight. But at the end, it failed, so it never it just stay trapped inside of him until it all that happened.
He he needed to follow the path of the Hollow Nail to achieve full hollowness.
Oh boy.
He explained. The Hollow Knight might have somehow focused the Radiance inside itself, but Team Cherry gives us no explanation of how that might have worked. But that still wasn't enough for the Pale King. Additional seals were needed in order to protect the Hollow Knight's physical body while the Radiance was trapped inside of it. To achieve this, the Pale King sought the help of 3 particular bugs, who would later be known as the Dreamers: Lurien the Watcher, Motomon the Teacher, and Hera the Beast. Lurien is definitely the most mysterious of the 3 Dreamers. He lived in the Watcher's Spire in the City of Tears. From there, Lurien watched over the city with his telescope. Lurien was a pretty big fan of the king, so it probably took little convincing for him to lie down for him. Lurien might also be tied to another strange incident that occurred in the City of Tears. Hidden on some of Lurien's lore tablets are images of jars, the same jars that can be found stockpiled in the Tower of Love. This building sits on the outskirts of the city, and is the setting of one of the most bizarre bosses in the game,
The Collector.
The Collector. The Collector is a void construct that appears to have been made from the same mold used to create the King's molds. But the Collector is unique because, well,
Yeah.
Good grief, he's naked!
The Collector stayed in the Tower of Love with a noble bug who likely owned the establishment. In the tower, a number of bugs can be found captured in jars, implying that these two were tasked with collecting these creatures. However, the Collector somehow became obsessed with grubs, creating a map to keep track of grubs it captured in jars, as well as keeping a strange shrine displaying a grub in the style of the Vitruvian
I guess
Man.
that's what it was. I also don't remember.
Eventually, the bug staying with the Collector decided to lock it inside the Tower of Love, and fled to the Queen's Gardens, where it died, likely due to overexposure to the void. Despite being locked up in the tower, the Collector is still spotted by the Hunter at some point, which either means this only happened recently, or the Hunter has been farting around in Hallownest for a long ass time. We have no idea what these creatures were trying to do. It's implied that the Collector was trying to preserve the creatures of Hallownest, perhaps trying to protect them from the spread of the infection, But we don't know where the collector's obsession with grubs originated, and while Lurian does seem connected to all of this, we don't know how involved he was with this operation, or what its end goal exactly was. Motomon the teacher lived in the teacher's archives, a library built atop a lake of acid in the Fog Canyon. The lower half of her body consists of tentacles, making her a popular subject for the thriving Hollow Knight R34 community.
Oh my god.
The archives and the Fog Canyon as a whole are also filled with these strange Metroid knockoffs.
Yeah, what are
These creatures are likely related to
jellyfish?
Monomon in some way. They could be her live offspring, her test tube babies, or possibly even her shit. Motomon uses futuristic cathoid ray tube things to store information about Hallownest. Several terminals in the teacher's archive go into detail about the Pale King's plan to defeat the Radiants, indicating that Motomon had intimate knowledge of what she was taking part in. Finally, the Pale King sought the help of Hera the Beast, the Queen of Deepnest.
Oh.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, relations between Hallownest and Deepnest were kinda not great.
Yeah.
Unlike the other two dreamers, Hera needed to be convinced in order to help the Pale King. Hera would eventually agree to become a dreamer, in exchange for a child. The Pale King agreed, and the two
Okay.
engaged in a dalliance, which is a fancy way of saying they totally boned. The White Lady was okay with this arrangement. In fact, she might have been watching from the closet. The motive behind
Okay.
Hera's request is never elaborated on, but it appears as though the King of Deepnest was dead at this point. Hera was a common bug, so perhaps she desired the Pale King's pale seed so that her child could be of high birth. The bargain between Hera and the Pale King resulted in the birth of Hornet.
Ah. okay,
She
so
became
that's where
known
that
as the
comes from.
gendered child, because unlike the Pale King's other children, Hornet was not hollowed out by the Abyss.
I gotta
Hera
get
and
that.
Hornet King's other children, Hornet
yeah, I
was
just-
not
Yeah. Anyway.
hollowed out by the Abyss.
Sure.
Hera and Hornet spent little time together, as Hera had to make good on her end of the bargain. And so the three dreamers were put to rest. Through their actions, a seal was placed over the black egg, prohibiting entrance into the chamber. These dreamers also had their own protection. At the base of Lurian's spire, the Watcher Knights guarded access to their master's body. Motomon's body was protected by a giant jellyfish named Umu. On top of this, Motomon entrusted her servant Quirrell with a mask which would be required to break an additional seal she had placed over herself. So she basically is double wrapping herself. As for Hera, we're not really sure what protected her.
I mean, to
since
be
this
fair, Hera was already in Deep Nest. I feel like that's protection enough, honestly. But
is never actually seen in-game. We don't know where this creature is hiding, but whoever it is, they really suck at their job. Now there appears to be one more element to the Pale King's plan, involving the Weavers.
oh,
Hidden away in the Weaver's den is an incomplete seal of binding, woven from silk. This design prominently features the Hollow Knight's head, and can be found in the White Palace, as well as blocking the exit during the Hollow Knight fight. Silk spools created by the Weavers can be found in the Stag Station in Deepnest, as well as the Stag Station next to the White Palace. These spools can also be found in the Pale King's workshop. We know that the Weavers were closely tied to Hera and Hornet, so their actions might have been a part of the deal between the Pale King and Hera. Once the Hollow Knight was ready, the Radiance was somehow channeled into the vessel, which was then placed inside of a giant black egg
Okay.
located in the Forgotten Crossroads. This egg was built to sustain the Hollow Knight, and itself appears to be fashioned from void. The Hollow Knight was chained up, and the entrance to the black egg was locked behind a powerful seal created by the three dreamers.
alright.
Initially, this convoluted plan actually worked,
Yeah.
and the infection was successfully contained.
And then everyone lived happily after. The end.
Memorials to the Hollow Knight and the Dreamers were erected in the City of Tears and the Resting Grounds. But this is the part of the story where things get a little bit hazy.
Yeah, how did
By the time
everything
these
just,
statues were
just fell anyway?
constructed, citizens had taken to writing on parchment woven from spider silk, which was all destroyed when water started pouring down onto the city. We don't know how long the Hollow Knight was able to completely contain the infection. Bugs from Dirtmouth used to go to the Temple of the Black Egg to pray, saying they felt at peace within the walls. But after a while, they stopped going, perhaps indicating that the infection was beginning to leak out again. The infectious air continued to seep through Hallownest for years, eventually even reaching the deepest parts of the kingdom. As it turns out, the Pale King's pure vessel wasn't quite so pure after all. The Hollow Knight had been tarnished by an idea instilled. While the game never explicitly tells us what that idea was, it does hint strongly at what it might be. Hidden away in the White Palace is a memory showing the Hollow Knight and the Pale King sharing a moment.
Yeah.
The Hollow Knight might have developed a parental bond to the Pale King. And who could blame it? The Pale King is a pretty great dad after all. You know, if you ignore the infanticide and everything.
Yeah.
Remember those
We don't talk about that, okay? Like the Hollow Knight is the favorite child, like not the other ones, okay? We need to talk about them.
mushroom dickheads? Well, it turns out their trust in the Pale King was a complete mistake. That shared mind isn't looking too good now, is it?
Oh.
In the fungal core, the corpse of a giant mushroom lies dormant. Its final thoughts were, "Pale worm, what good to see a demise unavoidable?" This could imply that the Pale King always knew that his kingdom was doomed. All he could do was delay the inevitable. This is likely the moment when Hallownest, as it once was, entirely collapsed. The Hollow Knight had not completely stopped the infection, and while it may have taken a while, Hallownest was eventually brought low. It's at this point that characters and areas begin to resemble as we know them in-game. When it became clear that the Hollow Knight was not able to contain the Radiance, the Pale King resorted to his final plan.
Alright.
He fucked off, hiding himself, his White Palace, and his Pale Court in the dream.
Wow, that's good plan. Good plan there.
Amazing plan.
Yeah. Well, everything didn't work. What did I do? Well, let's just run. Let's go fight the other kingdom or something. Imagine just leave this place and go somewhere else to like restart again or something.
World. At this point, all of the furniture in the palace was covered under white sheets, similar to how people in the real world cover their furniture while away on long trips. The palace was also completely covered with thorns and buzzsaws, similar to how people in the real world cover their houses with.
Yeah, like just everyone does that, right? Like when they leave to like do something else or on a trip, right? Just here for safety reasons, like
thorns and buzzsaws. The Pale King would eventually pass away while sitting on his throne in the White Palace. There's no confirmation on what killed him, but there are a few things to consider. The throne room is incredibly dark compared to the rest of the palace, and the particle effects and ambient track in this room are identical to that of the Abyss. All of the king's molds surrounding the Pale King are dead. The ancient basin itself also has become stained with the presence of void, as it can be seen as high as the rundown elevator shaft leading back to the city. Remember that bug that was sealed away in the Abyss to make sure the lighthouse wasn't turned off? Well, the lighthouse was turned off. I guess that whole living with purpose thing is a crock of shit after all. It seems as though the Sea of Void itself actually convinced this bug to betray his king and turn off the lighthouse.
so it backfired basically.
Now I know what you're thinking. Exactly how conscious is the Void? Is the Void able to think for itself? Can it form strategies? Does it host a podcast?
Is that what
Well,
the
according to
podcast?
this Chozo statue ripoff, the Void is powerful, but not unified. So while it can thrash around at things that come near it, or call out in unison to turn off a light, it's not a single conscious being. Getting back to the Pale King, one could argue that the Void might have played a role in his ultimate demise, and I've argued that viewpoint in the past, but we have to remember that there isn't enough evidence to know for sure. As an expert lawyer and a good friend of mine, Johnny Cochran once said, "Any evidence that the Void was involved in the Pale King's death is circumstantial. My name is Johnny Cochran." Just above
Amazing. 10 out of 10. Best statement ever.
the White Palace, the bugs in the City of Tears weren't faring much better. Even if we ignore the fact that the infection was still around, there were other issues that helped lead to the city's downfall. Due to the gates being sealed, some bugs
Oh yeah, I think I remember this. This is as far as like
resorted to cannibalism
Yeah.
in order to avoid starvation. And there's also that metric fuckton of corpses lining the walls of the Soul Sanctum. When all was said and done, the only citizen left standing is Eternal Emelita, who just laughs her ass off about it like she's a fucking Dark Souls character. The White
I mean,
Lady
she kind of does. She's standing there like, ha ha ha, am I only alive? Everyone's just dead. You're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. I will survive here.
ends up in a
Crazy
cocoon
lady.
deep within the Queen's gardens. She decided to place bindings on herself in order to keep her from spreading her seed. She claims that this is because of the shame she feels in helping the Pale King create the vessels. but honestly, it's probably just her kink. The White Lady also diminished her power, possibly as a way to keep herself hidden from unwanted visitors. Outside her cocoon, Drya stood guard,
I wonder what the whole thing,
protecting her
the
queen
god,
from the
like the whole
violent
DLC
traitor
you need to pay
mantises.
play this.
Drya is eventually killed off by these bugs, which is actually pretty pathetic if you think about it. I mean, we're talking like the Netgear WPN824N N150 wireless router pathetic. Speaking of great knights dying pathetically, let's move on to Hagamol. Hagamol held the city crest, a key used to open one of the gates to the City of Tears. At some point, Hagamol's armor shell was stolen by a maggot. Now, maggots were generally looked down upon and forced to do menial labor. They were incredibly weak, and basically deserved all of the discrimination they got. But this one maggot decided to turn the tide, so he stole Hagamol's shell so that he could defend his downtrodden brothers. His actions weren't motivated by the infection, but instead was the result of how hierarchical caste systems will always lead to revolution from the working class, and that true freedom can only be achieved blah blah blah, capitalism is bad, subscribe to my Patreon.
Yeah.
Olgra moved to the Royal Waterway.
He's just for the good of, for the good of the people and his country, man. Oh, they said like he stole it, but did he stole it from him while he's alive, or did he die and then he just, took the arm out of his body and he just started wearing it?
And started living in shit, changing his name to Dung Defender.
Yeah.
Now, I love wallowing in shit as much as the next guy, but you'd have to really love shit to put up with living with the flukes. The Dung Defender kept an unwavering sense of duty and loyalty to the king, and love for his fellow knights. So much so that he made shit statues of them. How nice. Ogrim acted as a defender
you gotta
of the
do what you gotta
pikeways,
do.
as
Like, if you have oranges, you need to
well as Isma's Grove. A section of the Royal Waterways became filled with acid, and in the middle of it all rests Isma's corpse, which has been overcome by plant life. Isma is likely the one responsible for this acid blight, but we have no idea what happened to her. Hornet's whereabouts during this time are fairly mysterious. We know that she departed Deep Nest and didn't return until the events of the game. At some point, she took to guarding.
I guess I explain why she has like the nail with the little thread is because she came from Deep Nest, which the whole spiders and whatnot. I guess
Halness from intruding warriors, as well as the cast-off shell in the Kingdom's Edge. Despite the Kingdom's woes at large, fortunately this fate did not befall one of the fandom's favorite characters. The Menderbugs continued to fix the broken signs and wayposts of Hallownest.
Oh, thank God, right? Thank God they still do that.
From a diary entry, we can see that one Menderbug in particular had found himself on the precipice of a long and loving relationship.
Hello again, diary. Not long now until the next Minder Bash. For us stealthy types, we're a riotous bunch when we get together.
Oh,
and
boy.
Minderberry kept flashing me that smile. It might be time to muster my courage and act on it. I love my home and my life, but sharing it with another? Why, that'd be the berry on top.
Green Path also underwent some changes during this time. The Mosskin were waiting for Un's call, which would bring them back into the dream they were originally born from. But for some reason, Un's strength deteriorated. We don't know why this happened exactly. Was it due to the White Lady claiming part of her kingdom? Was it somehow due to the infection? Some Mosskin believe that Un went into hiding, but it appears as though Un is, in fact, calling to her children. But
Yeah, someone I thought for sure this guy was just someone I could talk to when I first met him. No, if he saw you, he's just it started attacking you. So yeah.
many of the Mosskin are unable to hear or call. Instead, many Mosskin seem to have taken the Radiance's infection into their leaves, which might explain why Green Path became overgrown with vegetation despite Un's deteriorating powers. Mossy vagabonds even openly chose to forsake Un and worship the Radiance. Another tribe to be screwed over by the Radiance is the Hive, which fell to the infection after the death of their leader, Hive Queen Vespa. But it appears as though this had little effect on their civilization. The Radiance's hive mind was already familiar to the bees, since the hive probably operated under something similar already. So in other words, the hive probably made out the best in this whole situation.
Okay.
Let's turn our attention back to the moths.
Yeah.
After all, it's their god that keeps killing everybody. Well, the moth tribe didn't fare too well, actually, as pretty much the entire tribe died out. The only known survivor is the seer. Despite the loss of her tribe, the seer continued to tend to the graves in the resting grounds, while also waiting the arrival of the wielder, a mysterious being that her tribe has dreamt of for a while. In the kingdom's edge, the land became covered in ash molting off of the worm's decomposing corpse. The Colosseum of Fools continued to thrive. The Lord Fool passed away at some point, but nobody really seems to notice
It's wild. No one cares, huh? Bro just died. He's just there. He's just there, still standing.
or even care. The fools inside the Colosseum were infected, but still seem to have maintained control over themselves. It seems possible that these bugs took in the infection willingly, similar to the Traitor Lord and his followers. This would have given them an edge in combat, similar to using steroids, but without the whole shrinking testicles thing. However, even the Traitor Lord and his followers went mad, so what makes these fools any more special? As for the Pale King's champion, the Pale Lurker, well, she just went the normal kind of insane. There appears to have been another unforeseen event with the Pale King's plan. When the Hollow Knight was originally chosen, the door to the Abyss was sealed, trapping the discarded vessels within. But apparently, some vessels didn't get the memo. Vessel corpses can be found littered throughout the kingdom. There's one in the Ancient Basin, one in Green Path, and several trapped in Nosk's lair in Deep Nest. Another vessel that escaped from the Abyss is the player character, the Knight.
Yeah.
The exact details on how the vessels escaped the Abyss is unclear. There are indications that they might have slipped into Deep Nest through some old passageway, given void influences in part of the area, and all the corpses found in Nosk's lair. At some point, all entrances to Hollow Nest were closed off, with the old well and Earthmouth being the only way to sneak back in. Despite this, several people have wormed their way into the kingdom, with few ever returning. Characters like Relic Seeker
Also, I wonder how it got sealed. Like, who sealed like all the passages? Was like, I don't know what it should be. I was like, yo, hello, Prima Lasagna, hello. The very game, hey, nice. Yeah, I finally finished like the like God Master DLC, like the Pantheon 5. What? Yeah, beginning this week. So that was just checking the lore of the game. Since some parts of it I was scratching my head and not getting it. So we're watching a video to try to understand most of it. Also, how are you doing today? How's your day been so far? Also, yeah, I'm here with my mod here is also here watching with me. So yeah.
Indeed.
Yes, there is. I hope you're having a good day there. Okay, here, just wait for the game.
Seemed content to just pillage artifacts from the ruined kingdom, but other bugs seemed interested in something greater. In the Howling Cliff, rests the corpse of a member of the Grim Troop. The task of this bug appears to have been to seek out Hollow Nest, so that the troop might be summoned to the kingdom in the future. The Grim Troop are basically a group of bugs that serve a higher being known as the Nightmare Heart. The troop keeps the heart alive by feeding on the nightmares of fallen kingdoms. This process also involves
you're stuck in P3 because I see.
Because
hope we can still do it. Hope we can still do it.
Hey, look at this cool ass boss battle. Another important group
that go back a little bit. Look at this cool ass battle.
Of sacrificing the troop master to his own child because hey, look at this cool ass boss battle. Another important group that traveled to Hollow Nest are the God Seekers.
Okay, can you explain this to me? This one is like, huh? I don't understand. Like,
after being abandoned by their old gods, the gods of thunder and the gods of rain.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Nintendo Switch. Oh, I see. I don't know if there's any difference between the Switch version and the PC one, since I'm playing the PC one, but okay.
These bugs left their home in the Land of Storms.
I want to say something.
Not really. I played the game on the PS4 version, and never really played any other.
Oh, the other ones. Okay. Just go back a little bit more.
The gods of thunder and the gods of rain. These bugs left their home in the Land of Storms, seeking out a new god to worship. Ooh. The God Seekers looked to gods to save them from their own silent mind. While traveling through the wastelands, the God Seekers constructed devices called God Tuners, which helped them seek out new gods. Through this device, they were able to detect the lingering power of the Pale King and find their way to Hollow Nest. When they arrived, however, the God Seeker was forced into hibernation. She was encased in a strange sarcophagus.
That's right. I almost forgot about it when we first, found them there inside this thing.
Cocoon, which was itself chained up with a lock. It's not clear how this forced hibernation worked, seeing as the cocoon appears to have been made by the God Seeker herself. As for who put the cocoon in chains, I think the most likely candidate is the Dung
Yo,
Defender,
our boy.
considering how the Godseeker's cocoon is found in the junk pit in the waterways, an area the Dung Defender has tasked himself with protecting. This was the general picture of Hallownest after the Hollow Knight was sealed inside the Temple of the Black Egg. The kingdom was stuck in a kind of stasis, with the Pale King civilization destroyed and the Radiance unable to break free from her chains. The Pale King was rebelling against nature, trying to keep his work standing indefinitely. The stasis over Hallownest held for an age. How long is that exactly? Well, we have no idea.
Yeah.
As I'm sure you've noticed, there really isn't a timeline for anything that happens.
And it
in
only
this
takes
game.
a simple key to
We
open.
also have no idea how long
I mean,
any
yeah,
of these bugs
it
can
isn't that
actually
simple,
live.
no.
Elderbug wasn't around to see the Stagways open, but we know several other characters were, implying that Elderbug is probably one of the youngest characters in the whole game.
But yeah, we call him Elderbug because I don't know, bro. Just, I don't know.
The elder is the youngest guy.
I mean, maybe bro was like one of those people, like he is old, but like he never cared about studying, and never cared about anything. He was just there. It was just there, just existing. So he's just old, but he doesn't know anything. You see, even he said, "Oh, it shouldn't go down there. It's dangerous or something." Maybe that's why.
But this stasis over Hallownest wasn't going to last forever. At some point, the Radiance erupted out of the Hollow Knight, cracking its shell and releasing a loud and powerful roar. The amount of infection leaking out of the Hollow Knight became even greater. The many corpses that lined the roads and cities of the kingdom sprang to life with the amplified power of the infection. This strengthened infection prompted the departure of the Weavers back to their old home. Now this old home might actually be
Oh, okay.
Farloom, the kingdom in which Hollow Knight Silksong takes place.
We won't watch
But
stuff
the
in
amount
there,
of
by the way.
knowledge we have about Silksong right now is pathetic, so I'm not saying that's confirmed or anything. This is also around the time that Quirrell arrives back in Hallownest. His memory of Motomon appears to
Yes,
have
that
been
was all I
clouded due
mentioned.
to his time outside of Hallownest.
Hope to play that game in the next
These
30
events
years.
are depicted in the Quirrell prequel comic, which also shows an image of the Hollow Knight with a pre-cracked shell. This could mean that Quirrell's arrival happens roughly the same time the Hollow Knight's shell cracks. At around the same time Quirrell arrives in Hallownest, we also see the arrival of the player character, who is commonly referred to as the Knight.
Yeah.
The Knight was one of the lucky vessels that was able to make its way out of the abyss. Somehow the Knight ended up venturing beyond Hallownest and into the wilds beyond. It's implied that the Knight was called to Hallownest by either the sealed Hollow Knight or the Radiance within. Regardless, once the Knight shows up and yeets itself off this cliff, the actual game of Hollow Knight finally begins.
Just after almost 1 hour of video chat. Look at that. Crazy. All that 1 hour just preparing us. Anyway, now the game starts.
Now, there's a lot of details we could get into. Hallownest is full of NPCs and bosses, each with
Look, actually, I think I actually never met this guy. Luke Hermit. I don't remember actually meeting him.
their own stories to tell. But to be honest, I don't think we need to go through all of them, since their stories are relatively straightforward.
Who's that? Yeah,
For
yeah, I've never
we
seen
need to
that
go
guy.
through
Like,
all of them.
like
Each with
Fluke
their
Hermit. I don't remember at least. Probably some hidden way in the like some hidden path in the waterways, but I legitimately don't remember seeing this guy.
Own stories to tell. But to be honest, I don't think we need to go through all of them, since their stories are relatively straightforward. For example, let's look at the brooding Moloch. So why is the brooding Moloch brooding? Because all its friends are dead.
I mean, understandable, I guess, you know.
And there you go. That's the lore for the brooding Moloch. Also, it's the only character in the game with a visible asshole.
Oh,
Now, did
thanks.
you really
I
need-
needed to know that. Thanks. That was relative information to know there.
No, of course. That is.
Oh, you hate the waterways? I'm okay with it. I want to say I hate Deep Nest. Deep Nest is the place I hate the most. Screw that place. That place sucks. The waterways, I'm kind of okay with it, but yeah, Deep Nest, the place that like I will never want to go back there.
Me to explain that to you? Probably not. So instead, I'm just going to talk about the interactions relating to Hollow Knight's main story. The Knight is eventually noticed by Hornet, who lures it deep into Greenpath. There, Hornet attempts to kill the Knight, claiming that she knows what it would try to do. At this
Does
point,
she know? Does she really? Or is she...
Hornet views the Knight as being too weak. After the fight, Hornet can be found in the City of Tears, next to the statue of the Hollow Knight. Hornet mentions that the knight has gained a resilience, due to the time it spent in the void beyond Hallownest. This could be referring to the fact that some of those who leave Hallownest lose
Nah, Deepness is fine. I visited when I hate myself. Oh my god. Let me just go back a little bit.
beyond Hallownest. This could be
probably
referring
the
to the
background
fact that
sound of the
some of
place I
those who
hated.
leave Hallownest lose their memories, meaning the knight would have no memories of its own tragic conception. Hornet tells the knight that if it seeks to continue the stasis that keeps Hallownest standing, it must seek the Graven Ash, which is referring to the Kingdom's Edge. At this moment,
By the way, if she said that, I actually don't remember. She probably said it when I play it, but I didn't know what it was, so I just like put the information, the trash inside, like in the back of my mind.
Hornet sees the knight as a possible replacement for the Hollow Knight. Basically, the knight could break the seals that keep the Hollow Knight locked away, defeat the Hollow Knight, and contain the infection itself. It's at this point that I should mention that Hollow Knight actually has 5 different endings, because
Yo,
God.
the bottom left's crazy. You skip? Why did you skip dialogue? Why? Why though?
of course it would. I'm going to be explaining each of these endings in this video, as they each give us a different glimpse into the mechanics of Hollow Knight's
Oh,
world.
thank you. I really want to know. Not this Zelda thing. That thing is so cursed. The fact that thing is real is wild to me to say.
Now, to get the easiest ending to Hollow Knight, Hornet's instructions to go to the Kingdom's Edge can be ignored completely. If the knight stumbles upon the resting grounds, the 3 dreamers will appear and cast the knight into the dream realm. There, Seer will come to the knight's rescue and grant it the Dream Nail, a special blade that
That's
can
right.
tear
Actually,
the
I
Seer will
never.
come
Yeah, if you look at her form there, it does remind a little bit of Radiance.
to the knight's rescue and grant it the Dream Nail, a special blade that can tear the veil between the real world and the dream world. With the Dream Nail, the knight can venture to the resting places of the 3 dreamers, curb stomp their asses, and unlock the entrance to the black
usual
egg.
stuff.
Inside the egg, the knight finds the Hollow Knight chained up, silently watching over it. Once the chains are broken, the Hollow Knight screams with that familiar Radiance roar and pursues the knight.
Right, that's right. It is like
As the fight
Radiance
progresses, the
roar.
Hollow Knight starts trying to kill itself, Quirrell style. But then the Radiance starts using the Hollow Knight's body to perform her own attacks. Once defeated, the Hollow Knight begins to spew infection all over the place. The knight can then focus the infection into itself. This results in
something
the
with
first
the
ending
Hollow
of the
Knight.
game, called Hollow Knight. In this ending, the knight usurps the Hollow Knight, prolonging the stasis over Hallownest. New chains and bindings appear out of fuck if I know, and contain the knight. And a new
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's part of the egg. Maybe it's part of like the egg seal. Like it's supposed to like trap you there when it detects the infection or something. I don't know.
seal is placed over the entrance to the black egg. Now there is one giant question looming over this ending. Can the knight actually contain the infection indefinitely, or will the Radiance still manage to break free one day? Before we answer this question, let's look at some of the other events that can transpire while playing the game.
Okay.
If the player chooses to go to Kingdom's Edge, Hornet will challenge the knight one last time as a final test of strength. After her
I haven't
defeat,
done the endings
Hornet
yet?
allows
I
the
thought I
knight
actually
to
had beat
access
it
the
again.
cast-off shell, where the Pale King
I think
was
we got
originally
most of them.
hatched. By interacting with
The only
this
one didn't
egg,
get it. The one like there's like a different ending. You do something to like just change a little bit of part of one of the cutscenes, but I haven't done that. But I think we've done like most of them. Yeah.
the knight's shell is marked with the king's brand, technically making the knight the new ruler of Hallownest.
Hey, we did it. We're the king now, y'all. We're the king.
With the king's brand, the knight can now open the entrance to the abyss and discover the place of its birth. When leaving the abyss, the knight can encounter Hornet again, where for the first time, Hornet suggests that there are actually 2 outcomes the knight can enact. She tells the knight that it can either prolong Hallownest stasis, or face the heart of the kingdom's infection. Within the knight, Hornet sees a chance for change. Instead of just replacing the Hollow Knight, Hornet believes that it may be possible to get rid of the infection completely
kinda cool.
by using the void inside of the knight. After visiting the abyss and obtaining the Shade Cloak, the knight is capable of
But I want
reaching
to
the
get
White
all the
Lady.
achievements. I mean, you kind of need to play the whole game. Or just, something else. But oh well.
Hidden away in the Queen's gardens. The White Lady tells the knight that she has been awaiting a vessel to accept a gift. That
It's
gift being
I
one
mean, I
half
did
of a
most of
charm
it.
called
Not
the
all of them,
King
but I
Soul.
did it. So yeah, it's if you haven't even beat the normal game, yeah, it's gonna take a while for you to get there. And I even have done like the Steel Soul. You know, if I die, I'm dead, and I need to reset everything. So there's also that. So yeah, I wish you good luck. Good luck there. You most likely need it if you decide to ever do that.
Vessel to accept a gift. That gift being one half of a charm called the King Soul.
Yeah, they're just
which she
speed run
claims
as
will
well.
give the knight more power. The White Lady goes on to explain that she can feel the weakening of the Hollow Knight within her roots. She tells the knight that it is free of the blemishes that made the Hollow Knight a flawed vessel. From this dialogue, it is implied that the knight truly is a pure vessel, capable of containing the radiance successfully. But it's not quite that simple, so we're gonna have to dig a bit deeper into this. Basically, we're gonna need to answer a simple question. What exactly does it mean to be a Hollow Knight?
I mean, it means you have aura. Obviously.
Despite the White Lady's words, we have a number of instances where the characters and item descriptions mention that the knight has a will, and maybe even a mind. But from the Pale King's dialogue when describing the Hollow Knight, it is stated that a pure vessel has no mind or will. So is the White Lady wrong? Or maybe even lying? Her eyes have been clouded by time, and she can be tricked into thinking that Ogrim is in the room when the knight is wearing the Defender's Crest charm. She also thinks that Drya is still alive, which,
Oh,
So maybe the White Lady is just senile.
I want to say
My
that.
problem with that theory is that the White Lady states that the vessels stand out to her clearly in a misted world, due to them being her spawn. She also questions whether or not the knight sought her aid, which would imply that the knight must have some kind of will.
You have the power
So
of a
for whatever
madman.
reason, the White Lady thinks the knight is still capable of containing the radiance, even if it's still able to make decisions. After all, the Hollow Knight was considered pure, but they still taught it how to wield a fucking sword.
I'll say, by the way, that armor like Hollow Knight has is so freaking sick. Before I know breaks and start fighting us.
I mean, if the knight were truly and completely hollow in a literal sense, it probably shouldn't even be able to walk, or draw a map, or open a goddamn bank account. In short, this whole concept of being hollow is so abstract and hard to define, I don't really feel comfortable giving a solid answer on whether or not the knight is or isn't truly hollow, and I think the game leaves room open for other interpretations. Of course, the White Lady's gift is useless without the other half of the King Soul. In order to reach it, however, the knight must travel to the White Palace, locked inside the body of a King's Mold. In order to bypass the seal, the knight must use a fully awakened Dream Nail. It can do this by bringing 1800 essence to the seer, allowing her to sharpen the weapon's blade. If the knight does this, the seer remarks that the knight truly is the wielder that her tribe has been dreaming of. There's no explicit reason why the Moth tribe was dreaming about this supposed wielder so much, but it seems like they believe the wielder would wash away the crimes the Moth tribe committed by turning their backs on the Radiance.
Okay.
The seer seems to know that the knight might kill the Radiance, and she seems accepting of it, ready for her and her tribe to disappear and be forgotten forever. With the awoken Dream Nail in hand, the knight can travel to the Pale King's refuge and locate the other half of the King's Soul charm. When equipped, the King's Soul provides a never-ending supply of soul, making it almost useful if it weren't for the insanely high cost of the charm, and the painfully slow rate at which it increases, and the fact that the charm will get replaced in about 5 minutes after you get it. The King's
it was kind of cool for the 5 minutes we had it.
Soul charm itself symbolizes the union between two higher beings. To me, this implies that the King Soul is a representation of a vessel, which also was created by the union of two higher beings. With the King Soul in their inventory, the knight now gains access to an area in the abyss called the Birthplace. In this massive pile of vessel shells, the knight can find a giant egg. Dream nailing the egg allows the knight to access its own memory when it was cast down into the abyss. From viewing that memory, the King Soul charm is replaced with the Void Heart charm. The recollection of this event allows the knight to come to terms with the void inside itself. Once the knight has the Void Heart, the shades in the abyss no longer attack it, and that strange
Yeah, Chad, I'm going to do a little tangent. Yeah, basically he accepted himself and he's awakened his persona. So now that he does that, no corruption will ever, corrupt him. Anyway, I'm sorry. And let's continue here.
Once the knight has the Void Heart, the shades in the abyss no longer attack it, and that strange creature that gives the knight the shade cloak calls it the Lord of Shades.
Oh, I
In
actually
other
didn't know
words,
that.
the knight has now bound the once fragmented void under its own will, allowing it to control the void in a powerful new way. With the union of the void, the Pale King, and the White Lady, the knight has gained a strength before unseen. It is with this charm that 2 additional endings become unlocked.
Yeah.
Hornet will now be standing outside of the Black Egg, offering to help the knight should the opportunity arrive. Midway through the fight with the Hollow Knight, Hornet rushes into battle, subduing the Hollow Knight and piercing its shell. It's at this point that the knight is given the perfect opportunity to enter into the mind of its sibling, fighting the source of the infection head on, and
And
finally
then
putting
you
an
just
end
attack
to the
it.
Radiance's tyranny. Or I can just stand there and let Hornet get knocked unconscious. If the knight finishes off the Hollow Knight as usual, the sealed sibling ending occurs. Basically, it's the same as the Hollow Knight ending, but now Hornet is in the room too.
Yeah, and then we'll never see Silk Song again, chat. Silk Song wasn't real. It got stuck in the egg.
And her face appears on the door of the Black Egg. It's not clear what exactly this means for Hallownest. This might imply that Hornet is now a dreamer, but she's inside the temple, meaning that no one can actually get in there to kill her should the knight ever start leaking infection. At the same time, Hornet mentions that the bindings of the Black Egg would drain her, so she's probably just going to die anyway, right? Generally, people consider this to be one of the worst endings, but it's worth pointing out that Team Cherry doesn't support any one ending as being the true ending.
Okay. Ergoli Canon. We're not into true endings. You chose the path yourself. There are best in the future Hollow Knight content. Okay.
Each ending is canonical in its own right, and honestly, this ending isn't the worst. At least the Knight and Hornet will get to spend some quality time together. If the Knight does dream of the Hollow Knight, it will be taken to an arena where it can finally fight the Radiance head on. But the Knight isn't alone, as the other shades from the Abyss will appear in order to help corner the Radiance. Eventually the Radiance gets trapped in the tendrils of the Void. The Knight bitch slaps her a couple times, and then the
Bitch
Radiance
slap
is
her.
consumed into the darkness. The Black Egg then appears to turn to shadows and the Void seeps down into the ground. Hornet awakens to find the Knight's broken shell lying on the floor. We get one final shot of the Shades in the Abyss going to rest, and the game is over. This ending is called the Dream No More ending.
Yeah.
The Radiance is gone, and Hallownest is finally free from her infection. Now I think it's fair to ask a few questions about how the Dream No More ending comes about. When the Hollow Knight was initially chosen to become the pure vessel, the Abyss was sealed up, and the rest of the vessels were left to rot away. But somehow, vessels ended up outside of the Abyss, and then one of those vessels was used to replace the Hollow Knight. Exactly how much of this operation was planned, if at all? The White Lady was waiting for a vessel. Did she have any communication with Hornet? Hornet was guarding the King's Brand, the only way for a vessel to enter the Abyss. How did she know it was necessary to guard the King's Brand from weaker vessels? Hell, if the vessels did escape the Abyss by themselves, wouldn't it be pointless to guard the King's Brand, since the vessels could just creep back into the Abyss the same way? I'm not going to provide any good answers to these questions, because God forbid I answer anything in this entire video.
Okay. Okay. Let's go back. Let me see what he said there.
Answers to these questions, because God forbid
Also, I was wondering, maybe before I read this, I wonder maybe like maybe he just kept it open, and then maybe he had like somewhat of a way to know like which one was the pure vessel. So the ones that weren't but still survived just just went away, maybe. But then when he actually found one, then he sealed it. I mean, it's like it still doesn't explain like how we left there, since supposedly it closed it. We closed it before we could like get out of there, but it just makes me wonder. Let me read this now. I should have an answer. Out of the White Lady, get around. Why aren't the infected bugs in the Colosseum mindless? I mean, just you just build like that, I guess. What does it do with the pale beings? Is this a commentary on race or something? Did Augur and Grief Isma at 13? Okay, how did Hollow Knight grow? What is a collector? Probably little grubs. Where is the deepness boss? Seriously, look at that game design. Why is earn strength decreasing? Why are we here just to suffer? Every night I feel my leg. Oh boy. Getting
video.
this all this stuff.
But I do want to point out that no plans to actually produce the Dream No More ending are explicitly stated in-game. So we can only speculate as to whether or not the White Lady or Hornet, or maybe even the Pale King, knew that they could defeat the Radiants by creating a Lord of Shades.
Yeah, you know, I feel like they knew. They probably were like, I should go there and just beat the Radiants.
Like the Knight. Regardless, the next two endings were definitely not planned. In fact, the last two endings that were added in the Godmaster update almost feel out of place. The Godseekers basically hijack everything to the point where you don't even have to enter the Temple of the Black Egg to beat the game. That's like beating Mario Bros without ever seeing Bowser. But on the other hand,
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, look at that Bowser there.
the Godmaster endings basically reinforce that Hallownest does not exist in a vacuum, which can help the world of Hollow Knight feel more real. Because what else is reality but just a bunch of random
Reality just
chaotic
that.
stuff happening all the time? If the Knight finds the Godseeker in the Junk Pit, it will be able to enter her mind and refight all the bosses in the game. This is part of the Godseeker's ritual. They basically attune to the resonance of gods through ritual combat. This allows them to ascend their minds higher, and eventually, through the use of godly focus, achieve communication with the god sleeping in Hallownest's heart, the Radiance. Now I know what you're thinking. That's a pretty convoluted little religious practice they have going on here.
I mean, it
What's
is.
next?
It
Are
kinda
you going to
is.
start measuring the Knight's Theon levels? It's pretty complicated, but the point is, these Godseekers have some serious capabilities to fuck things up in Hallownest, as we're about to see. As the Knight makes it further and further through the four Pantheons, the Godseekers get closer and closer to making contact with the Radiance, locked away inside the Hollow Knight. At the end of the fourth Pantheon, the Radiance makes herself aware in this strange reunion cutscene between the vessels. But she isn't the only one to make an appearance. The Void itself appears to go on the attack, rising up to meet the Radiance's call.
Ooh,
It's at this point that the final challenge, the Pantheon of Hallownest, becomes available.
awesome. Someone
The
did like
Godseeker
all
finally
bindings there. Holy crap! At least like,
acknowledges the Knight as being more than just a simple cringer, and they begin to watch the Knight more intently. After defeating like a bazillion bosses in the final Pantheon, the
Yeah.
Knight finally comes
Man,
face
F
to
this
face
thing.
with the
It was so
Absolute
hard.
Radiance, a stronger, more enhanced version of the game's final boss. Finally, the stage is set. After roughly 40 minutes of intense agony and
Yeah.
tedious boss battles, the Knight has finally reached the ultimate enemy responsible for the destruction of Hallownest. Truly, this will be a battle for the ages. But first, let's check in on our old pal Menerbug.
okay,
As
sure.
it turns
Oh
out,
my
he's still
God.
alive when the Knight arrives in Hallownest, and he's still fulfilling his duty after all this time. Let's take one last look at his diary.
My lovely diary. Someone's gone and broke my favorite sign. Right there at the top of the crossroads. Keeps happening too. But you know, I just can't get mad about it.
Oh, that's funny. I remember. I think I found him like once while in my playthrough. I was like, I kept like destroying the sign, and one time I went down, and I was like, wait, what is that bug flying away when like, and it was the thing just was fixing it.
I should be thanking them, really. More chances to fix that beautiful, complex sign.
Sign.
And I've stocked up on spare parts, so I've no fear it'll ever stay broken for long.
Yeah, thankfully I explained this part.
Unfortunately, the only way to ever read the Menerbug's diary is to kill him in cold blood. I'm not
Aw.
sure why Team Cherry to ever read
Man.
the Menerbug's diary is to kill him in cold blood. I'm not sure why Team Cherry thought this was necessary, but the general consensus on Reddit
Team Cherry Death count. Harry murdered by cat. Menderbug deserve better. William told me he's happy my is dead. Oh my god. I remember how Tisukuro was too young. Are any of us safe? Oh what?
is that they are bloodthirsty warmongers, so it checks out. But at least Menerbug's last moments will be spent fixing one of his favorite
Man, it sucks. Oh boy.
signs in the Forgotten Crossroads. It's comforting to think that his final seconds of consciousness were spent in total bliss, before we sent him hurtling into the infinite chasm that is Oblivion. Well anyways, the alternate fight between the Knight and the Radiance plays out differently than in the vanilla ending. This time around, the Knight is not accompanied by any shades. Instead, after defeating the Radiance, the knight seems to transform into this monstrosity.
Yeah, which is really rad, honestly, not gonna lie. It looks really freaking sick. My account just reached Sam. It's gonna be a pain to fight. Ooh, I wish you the best, Gary. Wish you the best.
Now this creature goes by many names. The God of Gods, the Lord Shade, the Devourer, the Void Entity. But I don't really like any of those, so I will just call him Bill. Bill proceeds to completely annihilate the Radiance in spectacular fashion. We are then treated to the Embrace the Void ending.
Oh boy.
Bill comes back down from the sky, dropping into the rest of Godhome. The Godseeker starts to get pulled into Bill by Void tendrils. We then cut to the Godseeker in the junk pit. Void starts leaking out of her eyes, and it appears as though Bill is making an escape back into the real world, which is probably a bad thing? Finally, we see Hornet standing outside of the Black Egg as the infection begins to disappear from nearby vines. Hornet hears footsteps coming from inside the Black Egg as the Hollow Knight reveals itself to her and the two prepare for combat.
Yeah.
So from this cutscene, we can see that the Radiance's death in Godhome actually did kill her for real, meaning that the infection over Hallownest is now gone. This means the seals inside of the Black Egg probably wore off, allowing the Hollow Knight to escape its prison. In other words, the Embrace the Void ending is a goddamn cliffhanger, and we have no idea how Team Cherry plans to follow this up.
I mean, we see each other in 30 years in Silksong, you know.
The Hollow Knight is running loose in Hallownest, and the Knight has transformed into a raging void monster that might try to destroy the entire kingdom, or at least what's left of it. What's even more strange about this ending is that the announced sequel, Hollow Knight Silksong, doesn't seem to be related to this ending at all, but that's a whole different shit show. Obviously, the biggest mystery surrounding this ending is the appearance of Bill. Did this creature exist in the void already? Or was it somehow willed into existence by the power of the Godseekers? Did the Knight turn into this thing, or did it just become a part of it? Examining a statue of this creature and other forms of the Knight grant the player a Hunter's Journal entry for an ancient artifact called the Void Idol.
Let me see here. Rare artifact from time before Hollownest. Spark twist unified form. This large amount of liquid from the abyss, perfectly still. I don't think I actually have got this. Not that I remember anyway. Spiral metals, ancient bugs, they devoted their worship to no lord, or power or strength, but to their very darkness itself. Lem. Never mind if that was easy. Archer and Cypher. Oh, I had Archer and Cypher. You're gonna be okay. Just push down the toughness bar because I forgot he was quantum weak. There you go. See, easy fight. Easy.
Which might imply this creature might have been worshipped by the ancient civilization. But again, that's pure speculation. We don't know what this worship of Void exactly looked like. Maybe the Void they worshipped took the form of something more sinister.
Oh my god.
There's one thing we know about this monster though. It's weak to flowers. Yes, these things. As it turns out, those delicate flowers that Zamir has stocked us, these things. Though, it's weak to flowers. Yes, these things. As it turns out, those delicate flowers that Zamir has stockpiled up her ass are actually useful for something. They contain a strange power that even deters the White Lady from touching one. The Godseeker, however, is dumb enough to accept a flower from the Knight. If the player does this, instead of Void being released out into the world, this flower pulls a no you, and the Godseeker and Void disappear into thin air. The flower itself is described as giving off a pale light, which appears to connect it to the pale beings. Like I said before, pale beings appear to be some form of top-tier gods. As of right now, we are only aware of two, the Pale King and the White Lady, but the fact that Zamir brought these pale flowers from a faraway land implies that there are definitely more of them out there. Another small hint of the existence of pale beings are the pale ore items that can be found all over Hallownest. Did these come from the Pale King, or possibly some other pale being? And what exactly are they? Are they poop? In general, the Godmaster endings appear to be doing a lot of setup for future Hollow Knight content. Like I said before, Hollow Knight Silksong doesn't seem to connect to these events on the surface, so we are in a bit of a bind when trying to discuss what these endings actually mean for the greater narrative Team Cherry is building. There's definitely a lot more to consider about what the Pale Beings are and what properties they possess. And we also have plenty of questions surrounding the Void and how bugs have interacted with it in the past. It almost feels like we're looking through a keyhole, trying to grasp onto the totality of Team Cherry's creation. How powerful are creatures like Bill and the worms?
Bill and the
Where
worms.
did things like the Void even come from to begin with? How much bigger is the world beyond Hallownest? Is Bardoon into butt stuff? But of course, that's the appeal of a game like Hollow Knight. Having all of the answers to every question would just ruin the mystery of the world.
I mean, yeah.
Plus, if we didn't have questions like this to waste our time
You're good
on,
to eventually
then
get
what else would
some
we be
answers at
doing
least.
with our lives? Go outside? Ugh. And so this video comes to an end. Now I know the average attention span of a YouTube viewer is 9 minutes, so let me leave you with a few
Hey, don't worry. I promise. We watched the whole video, okay?
takeaways.
It was a good video, so yeah.
1. Hollow Knight is a game about bugs. I know this may come as a shock, but it's true.
Wait, is that true? Were they all bugs?
I never knew.
Really? Is Bardo into butts? Yeah, that's the real question I wanted to know here. That's the only thing I was truly worried
Watch
about.
the
They would never
video
answer.
again, and this time, pay attention.
Ouch! Yo, that is a call for everyone to watch the
You'll
video.
notice right away, I promise. 2. Murdering your own babies might not be such a good idea after all.
I mean, Raiden's kind of die at the end. We kill it. Maybe it was justified. Maybe all the other kids kind of sucked anyway. Maybe they deserve to die.
Damn.
I mean, this is obviously just my interpretation of the game's lore. Other people might have different views on the subject of murdering
What?
babies,
That's shocking.
and every opinion is valid, so I don't want to step on anyone's toes or anything. 3. Menderbug is fucking dead. 4. Nothing is certain. This video
Hey, if it
probably
makes you
has
feel
a
better,
few
the
flaws in
Menderbug
it.
is alive in my
Trying
world. I
to
haven't killed
construct
it
a
yet.
cohesive narrative with the information found in Hollow Knight isn't exactly straightforward. I'm sure my views will change in the future, and I encourage you to explore the lore yourself. 5.
I will say that.
And this last point is fairly obvious, but I should mention it anyway. Cory in the House is the best anime.
Hey, there we go. Spread things to the animals or that was good. I like the same deep shit. We did it, we did it. Look at that. But yeah, thanks for the video though. I appreciate it. I'll put in the description because I'm a dumb. I didn't do that yet, but I'll do that later. But yeah, it definitely helps me out because there's a lot of things that was like I was scratching my head. I was like, wait, but huh? It's probably because, like I said, they just put a lot of information there. You need to like connect the dots. But early game, I just, I was just not getting all the information. So I was literally like, okay, but like it just feels like random gibberish for me. And later, I was getting beat up by Defendiant, like the DLC. So a lot of things just went over my head. So this video definitely helped me out to understand what exactly what's going on here.
Before the end of the video, just remember, the state of things did nothing wrong.
Yeah, it was just trying to save everyone, guys. You just kill all his his kids. It was doing his best. Okay. Okay, let me go and get. You have to read. We have to read, but my dyslexia hates reading. Oh boy, I mean, I did personally. I did read, but like I said, a lot of stuff went over my head in my first playthrough. Maybe on the second one, I would. Oh, so that's what they meant. It's like I at least know all the things that happen or whatnot. So yeah, this was a good video though. It definitely like enlightened me in a lot of things there here and there. It makes you wonder about some others, but I got a better picture of what exactly happened at least. Okay, so I want to check one more thing, Chad. 1 second. Let me just do the switch. Okay, let me do a recap. Let me go here and see. I want to check the Silk Song trailer. I know there's one that like came out like ages ago, but I kind of wanted to go and see it. Okay, there's a bunch of them, so or there's even one for Mozbag himself as well. I guess I could watch both, but I mean, there are two of them, so let me pick this one that is older. I don't know if it's the same one or not, but let's just do that. Then yeah. Okay, I was like, wait, did it work? Oh, I just no, no, dang it, just messing up here. Okay, one second, I can fix it. I can fix it. Okay, go here. Oh, we can ignore the Nintendo logo that you guys might have heard at. Don't worry, it's just the evil overlords of gaming. We don't need to worry about that. All right, let's go here. Go here. Main bug becomes emo and kills everything. That's all I see. There, I see that. Maybe that does explain everything. Oh, it's that one. I deserve it. Ooh! Look at that. Yeah, it looks really good, I'll say. Even though this was like 6 years ago, like oh my god. Little acrobatic action. Also, let me just oh, interesting. Is it like one of I haven't seen this my playthrough, but I think when you start like steal mode, I think there's a creature to like helps you with like something, I forgot what it is. That is pretty similar to this one that I see here. New enemies. Yeah, I can already see like a lot of like bosses. Oh, it's this. Hey, you can look that move nice. It looks really good. Cannot wait to play this in like 20 years. Yeah, I was gonna say is it like red creatures part of the you know like Grimm's troop or something similar to that? Look at this. New friends. Hey. Oh, nice. Oh, is this the new maybe thing? New towns. Oh, hi. Whoa, that's... Also, oh, Mozari. Oh, look at this. Also, I have no idea how many of these things just changed because it's been so long. So. Oh, there is someone's here. Hey, you know what? Look at that. Wait, what'd you do there? She's wait. What exactly did that do? Okay, so if you like lifeblood, she just stabbed herself. Yeah, she just stabbed herself. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, All Night Soak Song coming out into next 50 years. Imagine. Holy moly. Okay, let me check the other one, chat. I think there's another trailer. I don't know if it's the same, but let me just check it. Because there was this one was like 6 years ago, and another one appeared on here, which was like a one that was like 3 years ago. So yeah, let me see here. Also, yeah, I just put it there because things are a little. Okay. Yeah, it's a little funky here, the things, the setup, so. Let me just fix it here. Oh dear. Wait. Alright, there you go. There you go. Let's see here. No ads. Oh no. Oh no, ads are playing. Okay, let me just wait then. Let me just wait. I was like, Sunday boss is gonna sucker Archer. I mean, if you can manage the like the first two phases, the third one is pretty easy, but it should be easy, but yeah, a little bit harder, but you can do it. Good luck there. But yeah, don't worry. We're waiting. We can wait lasagna. We can wait for all that. Just wait, pretty much, and then yeah. Stop giving me IKEA ads, oh boy. Is Archer, Cypher, Robin, Gallagher. Okay. Yeah. Also, welcome back. Okay. I think the ads should be over. Let me just do a little check. 1 second. Wait. Okay, they're still playing. They're still playing. Yeah, they'll be playing for the next 1-ish minutes. Or just wait that to end so we can continue, just to be sure. Oh, he disappeared. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Maybe just wait a little bit and then we can continue here. Oh, I'm currently I'm currently pulling. Oh, okay. Currently pulling Sparkle on that account log. I see. Then I go to Archer, Eidolons during the second half because I want the Lycon. Okay. Oh yeah, I know. Yes, I know about Dahlia. Mr. I forgot what the name is, but yeah, I do know about him. I don't have him though. Unfortunately, I just don't. I don't have it. Bro escaped my account, unfortunately. So yeah. Okay, so it should be over in a few seconds. Then we can just go and continue. There's a gameplay for So he has he has a bald spot under that hat. That is random. Why do you think that? Also, I think the ads are over, thankfully. So let me just do a little check. Okay, it's all good. Let me go and there you go. There you go. Okay. Oh my god, this place. Yeah, there's some effects showing there. Hey, nice. Oh, so she does have these abilities too, like the one that she did in our fight. Is that lava? Is it lava? Why would he be hiding under the hat? It's maybe crazy of me to say this, maybe it's controversial. Why if he's just hiding his hair? I know, maybe way too crazy, but what if, you know, what if it's literally just
Play it day one with
day one? Yeah, day one, guys. Just play a day one with Game Pass in like the next foreseeable future, probably. Oh my god, it's wild to me. We never got a try. Like, yeah, just there's never nothing more and nothing else. Can see. Let me go here. I need to. See, it's just a weird thing. Is let me see if I go to the other one just to be sure. Where is it? Oh dear. Yeah, apparently there's like a longer gameplay section. I guess I can just watch this one as well. Because why not? Why not? I'm going to check. I think I probably ended this one. And then I'll be officially probably just waiting for Silk Song and, you know, in forever. And we don't really know. They said it's going to be out this year, but you know, like I said, I only believe it when we get a date. Because I feel like we truly need one, honestly. Oh, there is. It's so laggy, chat. Oh my god. You guys are just seeing this happen. It was like, oh dear. Okay. There you go. There you go. Didn't want to cut to my account, so he now a hotspot he's trying to hide. Okay. Me and Dahlia have a beef now and prepare to square up against him. Okay, sure. Okay. Oh, it's the cutscene that we saw? Like the trailer 6 years ago. There's the nail. I wonder if we're gonna get some answers why she's here though. Ooh. Then it breaks his heel. Yep. And then that's crazy. Look at that. This is all a bunch of moss. Ah, convenient. Ooh. Hey, that was cool. Also, yeah, I'm seeing that thing there. I wonder if that... I didn't say it in the other trailer, but I wonder if that thing below her health is going to be like the line that she uses to like discern her moves. Kind of like our soul, kind of, but you know, for her. Look, guys, Silk Song is real, guys. It's not a lie. Actually, Silk Song. I was going to say, wait. What's the name of the place? I was like, things just appeared. I was like, oh, yeah, there's no name. You guys just didn't. Yeah, look at that, like the little like thread there. Yeah, it's like the equivalent to the soul.
Soulless.
Soulless, yeah, she is indeed. Alright, things don't fool there. Good perception. They got early access, so I mean, I know, right? I know. There's just so many connections, you know. This is crazy. She's talking to Team Chair. It's like, hey, I finished your game. Give me Silk Song. Like, okay, we can give you this little, this version of it, and just checking on now. Ooh. I wonder what the currency is. It's just like just the sound that it makes. So like. Yeah, there's not even a name for it. Like you're just getting things and yeah. Oh, I'm getting spread back. Also, I'm gonna he's just that guy. Also, I'm happy that we saw the video and they explained, oh, she was like the union of, you know, the queen of Hollow Knight, the Deep Nest, and the king. I was like, oh, so that's why she uses strides. Okay. Yeah, my dad works for Silk Song. She like when my kid says my dad owns bubbles. Yeah, but I think I should remember there was I forgot which game was it. So like I think the kid saw it and thought it was cool and posted somewhere, and then I think the dad lost his job because of it, because the kid wanted to show off to people on the internet. I forgot which game was it though. I think it was a game, if I'm mistaken. It was so something.
That's why they never released it.
I would say I do hope they explain it. Like, I hope there's some kind of timeline. You know, like, there's probably going to be some hints here. Like, why is Hornet here? Is it like after Hollow Knight or before? You know. Yeah.
Main character.
Nah, we know the real main character is like the map. The map is the true MVP of all these games. Fight. Yep, I'll fight. No name though, just no name, just bug. Bench, get the bench. Okay. This actually reminds me of like the Green Path enemies, but you know, a flying version of them. Like especially the ones in the background there, like those little guys are like a smaller version, but they have wings. Also, by the way, no yellow eye, so not infected. Maybe just pissed off, I don't know. He's attacking us regardless. Also, yeah, this is a good point. What are we finding? Are we finding like the void this time or something? Like, what is the enemy in the game? Like the main one? Just the void, you know, came back for vengeance or something, or? Christ, our brothers and sisters are dead and now just exist. He's just there. Supposed to be, you know, the heir of two thrones of two nations, and both of them just are gone, pretty much. Oh yeah, this the music was nice. Yeah, there's like the little particles there, like the green effect. Oh. I would also be pissed off if someone tried to murder me. I mean, yeah, you know, most people would, I assume. Fuck fast. Oh, it's that guy that we saw. She can move.
Flashback.
God dang it, I hate it. No, they just skipped it. I like those things there in the top left there. Like those. Oh, it's like some sub weapons then. Like she has some sub weapon scrap now. These are only like the, like you know, the nail, I guess. Like instead of the magic, she has like sub weapons basically. Good job, Arnett. Yeah. Go here and then tell me the name of this place. Wow, Chad, look at this, amazing, right? They don't want to get sued. The name of this place. It's blank, yeah. Everyone's so creative in this nation. Okay. Wow. Even guys, it's the place, and then just yeah, insert name here. Oh, there's another currency. There's red things as well. Oh no, there's exchange currency. Imagine like some crazy stuff like that. A bunch of coins that pay you where you go. Also, a cool flip, by the way, that you did on the air there, like instead of a dash. Okay, when Hornet dies, what happens with like, you know, we all know, like, this game is like a 2D Dark Souls, like, you know, when you die, like, your stuff is just there, and you need to get the shade back or something. But I wonder what happens to Hornet if that happens to him. Like, he just died, like, what happened? Turn by that. I got those bling boinks. Yeah, I like the flip though, like the little dash flip that she does. Okay, there's the bench. There's the place, maybe? Or the little guy that she's going to use to teleport? Not teleport, yeah, I did. Why there is lava here? Like why? Like, wow. Oh, look at that. Like a little crab that you need. Or some bean for the boy. Unfortunate. Don't worry, you'll be able to dash through things in the future. I hope and hope. You have to do that the same way you do the Shadow Cloak. Alright. Look at that thing there. What? He just left. I'm like, I look kind of cute until open his mouth. Like, oh, what? Yeah, I guess there's nothing there. Peace out, Hornet. Just get out of there. Okay, good to note that, you know, counters do exist in the game. You can time it right with the other clashes. I assume Pogo also exists. Oh, okay, I was like, what? Oh. Alright. The animation is really good, like the threads there. Oh, so that's like the substitute for those idols? I forgot what the name is. Where you get the soul, but now you get the threads there. I believe took up some gymnastic classes. Also, yeah. Man, what was I going to say? I had something in my mind. It just slipped my mind. a while ago. Let me go back a little bit. Oh yeah, I was going to say this place. I don't know why, but maybe it's because all the chains and like especially this area and like the bells. It gives me almost like, I know it might sound weird, like an industrial vibe. It is giving a little bit. Like, you know, like they kind of evolve a little bit more, and then like all this technology, and that's why there's lava, because they created it or something like. Just a random thought. Maybe just like the different design compared to like you know, Hollow-knight is just like. It's not interesting to me. Someone fell. Oh no! Why are these things in their head though? Like little bells here. Good to know that some enemies are still, you know. Oh, she can throw back. Nice. Still a pain to just keep killing. Ah, oops. Sorry. Is Silk Song out? No, it isn't. I'm just watching a video of a gameplay that it was released like a few months ago. It's not actually out. Imagine, nah. Yeah, hello Dark, hello Auto Stream. Yeah, I'm just we finished Hollow-knight. It'll be funny though. Like it just came in the moment. Like I opened the video, but she just say it first. Yes, it is, but nah, it isn't. Yeah, I just finished Hollow-knight this week. And we beat all DLC. So I'm just looking at some lore explanations and some gameplay for Silk Song, since I haven't watched it actually. So just looking a little bit at the game that might come out this year or maybe next 10. Who knows? Apparently this was like gameplay for like 10 months ago though. It's still wild to me. There's actually like some lava-ish things or magma in Hollow-knight of all games. And you literally cannot step too much, if not you take damage. Like getting flashbacks with those stupid ass spits. Alright. You can never see a lot of similarities though from, you know, Hollow-knight. Oh, fragment, nice. Good to know some things do the same. Gotta love it. They didn't even put the names there. Alright. It's the best item. Blanky, yeah, the best item in the game. And it's like, it's so, I noticed, like, it's so like industrial in a way. Like there's even like we saw some saws there, like you can like throw in the other trailer and whatnot. Like so interesting. I wonder like if OG Hollow-knight, oh, inspect Doc's note.
It is confirmed. Hollow-knight 3 will be
Cyberpunk. Cannot wait. Yeah, just the way, like the vibe this space is giving me, like somebody like, not like I know like you know, Hollow-knight wasn't like advanced events, but blank sounds so interesting. Like I know, right? Like, I'll say if this game actually comes out this year, I'll actually be surprised. little bit. I don't know they said it, but you know, things can always change in, you know, game development, so we never know. I wonder what this other currency is. We have 2 currencies in the game. No more. I mean, Hornet. I feel like Hornet is faster than like the Knight is, honestly, in general. At least it feels to me. At least early on. Oh my god. Henry. So, yeah.
That 1 year is very important.
No, of course. I mean, you can do it. Just jump. You can do it. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Yeah, it's really fast. Like, you can use the translate too. Hey, let's go. Well. The sound is also the same as well when you get health and hollowknight. Yeah, even like, yeah, some of like, it's really interesting to look. Like some of these mechanisms. You have such a different vibe. The Shah. Shah. Yeah. Man, even oh my god, game. Also, can you say praise be you can dash in this game? Not like you know. I mean, that no, we can like run. Like, oh boy, that's. Also, I don't know if you're still here, Dark, but or Akraya, but like the Silk song is out to be the oh, like I can feel the disappointment in that oh there. And I saw it. Oh, look at that. Blank Cell Wonders lesson. Lesson V3. I think they will, yeah. They didn't show it, but I think they're going to. Also, I'll say, I don't know if it's just me. The enemies feel a little faster, like... Well, I guess to answer my question.
Actually, the best charm in the game is the map guy's wife's.
Oh my god.
She's really charming.
It's really charming. Har. But I was gonna say, I feel like the bosses, they feel like faster than like the early bosses in Hollow Knight by comparison. Just a little bit. I guess that's my question of what happens when you die, but everything looks fine though. Like there's no like your soul vessel isn't broken or whatnot. It looks. I don't know if there's anything else. They just cannot see. Oh, that's a little cocoon there. No idea what that means though, but yeah, like the base speed of this enemy like is way faster than like anything we fought in, like early on in Hollow Knight. Seems pretty reactionary as well. Hey, nice. Look at the enemies. Why are they going Mach 5? I feel because Hornet is more agile. They made the base enemies more faster as well. At least that's how I feel it. Like this is like normal if you got used to like the hard and difficult bosses in the game, but for like early games, this is pretty fast. Like, wait, if I don't know it's early game, but I assume it is. Yeah, even like healing is way faster, like Terwin said.
That also enemies are not like
I mean, that. I mean, you know, some zombies can be pretty fast. There you go. She did it. I don't know if she did. Oh, no. Okay, she did it. There you go. She just run away.
main character of Hollowknight is John Hollowknight.
Jump no song.
He's on Jane Simpson.
Nah, I call Joel sing song. It's more funny this way. It's pretty cool, the end, yeah.
The gold, the bench.
Yeah, there you go. But I have no idea how this person got the gameplay, but it was definitely interesting. Just, you know, looking here, some of the stuff I went out was really nice. Most of it was playable, the that part.
My favorite part was blank line.
Blank line, yeah, blank line this, blank line that, yeah. Like, you know, insert text here later, beep beep bop bop. Yeah, just put stuff there. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Is it? Oh yeah, just this one. There you go. But yeah, I guess that was it though. That was not our videos, but I feel good just watching these. What do you thought about it?
Really enlightening. That's for sure. I came to appreciate the existence of the map guy's wife.
Okay. You worked for Team Cherry or hacking? They're hacked. Oh boy. Yeah. But I really enjoy it, and at least, like, you know, the first video, which I'll put in the description later, like the lore one. I truly just, I wanted to know about like what exactly happened there, so that's why we did this stream here. What? Yeah, I think like he has a.
I remember seeing someone talk about that. But it's been a while now. Well, now we have around.
I mean, they said like in
around more 5 months until the year ends, and maybe the game will release until then, or they will just
postpone as they usually do. One of the two, yeah. What's their favorite item? I mean, in general, I don't know. Like, I would say it's still probably the map. That map is way too OP for it going good, honestly.
My favorite item in the game.
I would say it's probably the map for me personally. If I haven't not say the map, I don't know. Charm is a little bit easier. I like the sharp shadow the best. Mine was blank 1, 2, 3. Amazing, yes, of course. That is also a peak item as well. It's really good, really good.
Oh, I really like that special dash kind of thing, the crystal one.
Oh, the crystal dash. Okay, that one. I like it, but I don't. It's more for traverse, so don't really use too much in fights. Which, oh well. Maybe they could like some more uses there, but there wasn't anything much could do there.
It's really nice flying around with that one.
Also, I just put hollowknight for a bit, but just listen to the music. But yeah, it's overpowering the meta. Hope it doesn't get a power craft. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll nerf it before they full release of the game. Who knows?
Oh, it certainly will by blank 124.
Blank 124, yeah. Of course. Of course. Yeah, but I really enjoy it, and
I know we know nothing about Silksong, but you believe it will also have DLC. Now
I mean,
suddenly I'm
I
French.
mean,
Suddenly I'm French.
I mean, you know, maybe in the next 20 plus years after the game comes out, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I have no idea. Because, you know, maybe they would, but like, I don't know what they're cooking, like in Team Cherry, for it be like, you know, like, you know, they're taking too long, and they're like, now, oh, DLC, I was like, why? Like, I don't know. I guess it depends on the story and the main game. Since if they're going to answer the question about, you know, the end of Hollow Knight, to see like, you know, how one go to the other, is a prequel, is a sequel, like stuff like that. Hollow Knight and my enemy poke. Oh boy. Also, I think I'll show my achievements last time. I didn't got all of them, but there's like some that's still like, oh yeah, apparently we can do this. I didn't know we can actually just leave Zoda to die. But I heard that you can do that. Some of them are still secret though, but I got the majority of them. I still need to do the speed run though. Speed run is still so one thing I haven't done it. Yeah,
Nah,
it's 5 hours.
I misread it as under 10 minutes. It was really.
No, it's 5 hours. Yeah, 5 hours. Yeah, they're like the Steel Soul one.
100%.
Yeah.
Steel Soul.
Yeah, its speed completion is wild though.
No, not.
No,
I
it
get it.
basically completes Steel Soul in under 20 hours and getting 100%, basically. Yeah, you need to also the Hunters one and this one. But there's some that I still haven't done it.
Hidden achievements.
Yeah. But I got a bunch of that. I mean, this one is the one that I really want, you know, pure completion, like 112% and finish the game. Like, this is the one I was going for, so. We need a different save. Most likely, yeah. It's just like my
Nah,
base
you need to start a new game and leave Zod there.
to die, yeah, just to get this. Yeah. Am I actually, like, in the future, just by myself, just do some of these, but. I don't know. The other one will probably be like, I'll probably like do at least 2 playthroughs, one in Steel Soul, and maybe in 20 hours less to maybe do it, and the other is a normal one to, you know, beat it in 5 hours, if I really want to get everything here. And I'll probably do the other like hidden ones that is just, you know, like the Hunters one, other stuff. Yeah. Which I'll probably need to kill that poor dude there, unfortunately. The poor little dude that did nothing wrong. But yeah, I'm satisfied though. It took a while. I think I checked. I don't know when was it, but like, I've been like playing the game for a while already. You know, you can kill and save the nail and hands guy. I can do. I know I can kill him and I can also just let him live, but I can do it at the same time. I hope it isn't like I need another achievement to like to just killing him or something. Because the one I did, I saved him at the end, but if I need to kill him, it's gonna suck. Ugh.
I think they meant that you have the option, but you can't do that in the same run.
Yeah, I just hope, you know, there's no achievement to that. If there is, like, I need to kill him, but oh well. I like his ending. It was really nice. You know, if you let him live and he decides, you know, just stay there with Bob Ross. Just, both of them just painting together. I also hope we can see what happens to the girl, Bretta, I think that's her name. Our little fangirl that, you know, betrayed us and then just left because she decided to, like, Zod is not that cool.
She is now a fan of Hornet.
Like, you don't dream no more. I mean, like, the speedrunner community is wild. They can just do that. Like, they're just built like that. I'm not like them, so it's probably doable, but I'll need to, you know, like, learn some techniques here and there, like, test some stuff out, you know, to try it, but, you know, it could be doable. Depending, you know, what abilities that I can get in 5 hours and whatnot. I'm more of a newbie attempt into getting that. I'm not a speedrunner or anything, but, you know, maybe. Get some stuff like that. But this is a maybe. I don't know for sure yet. That is like, you know, maybe the future. I could just try it myself, but yeah. Man, this is pretty much it though. There's some stuff I haven't done yet. I'm pretty sure I haven't done the second path of thing, I think. Or the one that the harder version of it. I did the normal one to get like the true ending, so like didn't get all the stuff in the hunters, but I'm satisfied. I'm personally just satisfied. Oh yeah, they do some crazy stuff like that, yeah. Skip like shade skips, yeah. I see sometimes here and there like some speedruns in Hollow Knight, just some crazy stuff that they do. Not even Hollow Knight, I feel like a lot of games in general, like just some wild stuff. Especially the ones, you know, 80% and all that. Skipping sections, just glitching inside out, it's just crazy. But yeah, Chad, like I said, I want to stream tomorrow, most likely. And I'll be back on Monday with Expedition 33, finally, after, you know, ages. So I'll be checking that out. And it'll be the next game I do. I am thinking of maybe playing on hard. Maybe, I don't know how difficult it's on normal, so I might just do hard. Not a max difficulty, but maybe on hard. Just try it out. Then we'll see how it goes. Like, I just know a little bit of it, like the base premise, you know, the world, people with certain age die or something and all that. Like, I think old people don't exist, yada yada, and the game is really good, so we'll see how that goes. And I'll be back with the other games because I'm pretty sure Wua update next week. Nikkei had a summer event that I'll probably do, but we'll see. I guess it depends on when. Heard it was good. Yeah, I heard good things about it, so yeah. Oh, I'm talking about Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Test name. Oh, I heard old people don't exist. I know it's because of the story of the game. Like, I think, like, if I'm not mistaken, because I only heard it once. You never heard of it? Really? It's basically a turn-based RPG. But it's kind of similar to how Paper Mario works, where like it is turn-based, but you need to like use the commands, like, you know, you press certain commands to block, certain ones to attack, to time it properly, so that. No, I wasn't talking about Xenoblade 3. Yeah, I was talking about that game. It came out this year, and a lot of people like said a lot of good things about it. And I did mention during my birthday stream, I got it as a present, so we'll be streaming that. I was like, what was it you? I was like, wait a minute, I see that. God dang it.
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute. Your bro just went in his phone and just did that. Lame, joking. Hey. I'm head to bat. Okay, Primozonia. Okay. Thank you for stopping by, though. Have a good night. Probably ending in a bit as well. I mean, someday I might play Xenoblade. Someday, if I can get, you know, my hands on a total legitimate Switch to play 1, 2, and 3. I might do it. The only problem is I kind of already know the story, though. That's the problem that I would have personally. Not problem with the game, just problem with me. It's just, I kind of know already, so yeah. But I'll probably still enjoy just playing by myself and exploring the world, doing side quests and other stuff. But yeah. Also, I still need to. I think the only game I played of this series, not this series, but Wom was not series like Xenoblade, like the same devs was I think it was called Xenosaga. No, not Xenosaga. It was Xenogears. Yeah, I actually played Xenogears way back, but only that. I never played Xenosaga or Xenoblade though.
I don't think I ever played one of those games. I just watched that one and released some time ago.
Oh, it's because you know, Xenogears is only like PS1 era, and Xenosaga is like on the PS2, worth like divided in 3 games, and the rest came on Switch, on the Wii and Switch. I also said anime. I was like, which one? I don't remember actually.
I got.
You got confused with something else?
I'm really confused now. I was thinking about that Tales of games
Oh, Tales. Okay.
for whatever reason, and that I don't even understand.
I mean, Tales is another series I should probably eventually play here as well. Also, don't worry, I can save it there. Wow, you know, God I love Miru and Pyra. My favorite characters is Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I actually watched a little bit of the gameplay from the Chronicles 2. I think.
Oh, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Okay.
I never got back to it, but I never played any of those games anymore.
Yeah, I'll probably play it someday. I'll really want to like play it for myself and
Are
like
those available in PC?
his Switch only is like Nintendo has its claws on Xenoblade, so it's only on the Switch.
Yeah.
Xenoblade 1 is on Wii,
I
on
think
the Wii,
I'm gonna play it in around
and
10 years or
then like the other two are on Switch. Xenoblade 2
so.
and
Now-
3.
Now we wait for Genshin to get to Switch 2.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Sure, that will happen.
That fake ad.
The fake ad.
That fake official ad.
Yeah. Nowadays, like all them are on the Switch because of the definitive edition on Xenoblade 1, if I'm not
The
mistaken.
but we are missing a very important thing here. Ken.
Switch 2 runs them all way better. Oh, nice.
Do you know what it is?
What is it?
Genshin is actually going to release in Switch 3.
Oh
Mark
my
my
God.
words.
Switch
Switch 3
Switch
will
3.
have Genshin back.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but I might probably check some of these games. There's so many things I want to check, but not enough time. But yeah, we'll start with Clara Obscured first though.
The Switch isn't the Switch too retro compact
It is. It is. Yeah, it is.
compactable?
I'm pretty sure it is. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Also, bye, Vals. Bye. Have a good night, and have a good food there, whatever you're eating. A good stream as well. But yeah. Also, yeah, it is. But I do think like certain games, like Legend of Zelda, for example, I think you need to pay to get the upgrade, like some of the upgrades there or something to get it better.
I think you need to have that is if you have the base game.
Yeah, you need to have the base game and then like pay the extra to get the update, pretty much. Not all of them, but I think like some of them need to do that.
What exactly you get for that?
I don't know, maybe 60 FPS, better graphics. I don't know.
Really, what? What?
I mean, I don't know. Like I didn't check, but I do hear like if you want to get the better stuff, you need to like to pay at least that game.
Just imagine you have to pay $1 for each FPS you unlock.
Each FPS you unlock. Oh my god. I think it's $10 or something, if I'm not wrong. But yes, I'll be going for an auto, everyone. You want to say something before I go?
Not really, nothing much important. Just that I would just like to reiterate the most important thing we learned today. The map guy's wife is the best.
Okay. Okay, guys, I'll be going and see you guys on Monday. And hope you guys have a good day and see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.